Hello and welcome to the Nash Tackle Off the Hook podcast. As ever, we're going to start with some Nash news, and I've bought...
Do you address the cameras?
Yeah.
Fancy. I never address the
camera.
cameras. I don't know, you're a true presenter.
Oh, so carpy. I like that one, mate. It's a close-up of me. Dan, you're back. Mr. Yeomans.
It didn't take long for you to come crawling back like a bird on its belly.
I'm not going to lie, I've had just pure hate from how you, nothing to do with me this, how you ended my pod saying, right, he's ousted me, I'm off.
Yeah, to be fair, we planned that. You knew that was coming.
I did know that was coming. I didn't know the backlash was coming, though.
Yeah, you didn't know that. But
the Bring Back Dan campaign has been forceful, mate.
I've actually had a few messages going, well, one dude said, Alf's boring. He goes, bring back Dan, Alf's boring, where's the Mikey stories, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I'm gone, I'm out. I'm done.
You're not out, mate, you're back.
I'm out, but I'm back.
You'll definitely be back.
I'm back as a guest on this sofa.
How does it feel?
Weird. It's quite high up.
Do you feel important? You are important.
I'm not important, but yeah, it's weird that I'm kind of looking down. So I didn't realise the guests kind of looked down on me and Alf. I did, but it doesn't feel like that.
It is that sort of eye level, mate. But a lot of power on that couch, mate.
Yeah, I like it.
And the reason you're in is because Nash News, we're going to talk about something topical, which we always do, but something related to media. You being media manager at Nash Tackle.
Yeah.
Fitting. We're going to talk about the rise of what has become a number of different streaming sites, pay sites, if you like. You've got Typography, Harper's Yard, the likes of. What do you think to that? Why do you think they've sprung up? Are they a good thing? Talk to me about them, mate.
Yeah, they're here.
They are here.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
They're obviously quite a new thing. I guess the first people that I knew of doing them was KWA.
Yeah.
Carp online.
Yeah.
If I said that right. In where are they? Holland,
yeah.
In the Benelux, and they were extremely successful over there. The boys Pilar and Hoffman are huge characters, and from what I know, I don't really know them that well, but extremely driven lads, and they've made a huge success of what I knew to be like the first sort of subscribe for content style channel. I don't know how long they've been going, but it's been as long as I've been at Nash, I believe.
Yeah, they've been going a while, haven't they?
Yeah, so I've been here 5 years, so they've before that, and I think I remember them saying to Alan, you know, why is there nothing like that in the UK? Alan didn't really have an answer for him. I think in the UK there's such a huge amount of free content anyway from all the big companies, more and more so now, that it was probably a point where I was like, well, why would people want it? Because there's so much free stuff out there. And then I believe the first people was Typography. Do you reckon?
Maybe. Was Carp TV before?
Of course, yeah.
So Joe started Carp TV, didn't he? And then
how long was that going?
That must be a while as well. I'm thinking that must be 4 or 5 years. No? Ago?
Probably.
I'm not sure.
Because I always knew about Carp TV, but I never watched them. Never. Yeah. I guess I didn't really know enough about them. I guess what I'm saying is Typography really marketed themselves a lot harder than Carp TV did. Yeah. Obviously, they took over Carp TV, but they really rebranded it and remarketed it. And I just didn't really know that much about Carp TV before. So they would have been the first in the UK to do it.
Yeah. Elliot and Rich done a great job there, haven't they?
Yeah, they've smashed it.
Yeah.
I mean, look how big it is. They're a huge brand in themselves now. What do I think of them? I personally think it's brilliant. Biased, obviously.
Yeah.
Being from the media side of things, like I just love to see content going out there.
Yeah.
And for me, there is no too much content level. Worded that terribly, but
it's good, mate. I like that.
Yeah, there's no, for me, there will never be enough content because it is consumed so quickly, and people want more and more and more of it to get their fix. And so, yes, there's companies which put all their content out for free, like ourselves, but if people want even more, why wouldn't they? If people want to go and pay a little bit more for even more content, I just think it's brilliant. And also, what I like about a lot of these, a lot of the subscription sites is it's like an unbiased view of carp fishing. Like, we will put out free content, but at the end of the day, we're a business as well, so we have to be conscious of that.
It has to have a Nash twist, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. And I'm a massive advocate of making the most aspirational videos that we can, or the most exciting or most watchable. But at the end of the day, it will be full of Nash products because we're all from Nash. Yeah. And I guess a roundabout way of the reason we do those videos is to make people love Nash tackle and to give those people that content. Same for I guess all the other big companies. The great thing about some of these subscription sites, I guess, is that it is a completely unbiased. It's more. I guess it's just more focused on the fishing. Yeah. It doesn't matter what bait, what rig, what this, what that. And I know people enjoy that and a lot of people like to consume like the tactics behind things. But I guess there's a lot about what the characters like, the person fishing, and a bit more about their fishing. Maybe not a bit more, but
I know what you mean. Yeah, there's not that sort of.
There's no ulterior motive to it as well. It's just about the video.
Yeah, storytelling. It's a bit like a podcast, really, mate, in a way.
Of course.
Quite neutral.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when Elliot put up his video saying he's leaving Corda to go and do that, and I thought, yeah, fair play, because a lot of it was about going and making the content he wanted to make.
Did you think when he made that announcement that it'd work for him as well as it has? Because that was relatively new for people to pay whatever they were paying at the time, $5.99 a month or whatever it may have been.
I think yes, because automatically I started paying for the episodes that I wanted to watch. So I thought, I don't watch much fishing stuff because I'm kind of sick. Not sick to death of it, but when do you know?
I know what you mean.
When it's everywhere all the time. Sometimes I go home from work. I don't want to go and sit and watch more fishing.
No.
There is times when I do, but so for me, as someone who consumes loads of it, to then pay money to go and watch more, then I guess I did go, yeah, this is obviously going to work because it's made me do it.
Yeah.
Why would your average carp angler who wants to watch it all the time?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to probably ingest it more. Do you think that's a trend for the future? Obviously, we've got more recently. We've got Daryl Peck starting up with Carp Fix. Yeah. Do you think that will be those anglers that have got big platforms already, social media wise? Do you think that will be a trend in terms of, instead of maybe having so much of an alliance with brands and free content, they sort of go out on their own more and start to charge for what is? I mean, you do it. I do it to a very small extent, but the amount of work that goes into editing videos, getting them filmed, realistically, to pay for it, when you see it from the inside out, I don't see as a big deal. But I know that some people, it's quite a barrier because they've been having it free for so long.
Yeah, and I don't know what the feedback's been like for, the likes of Subography, Carper's Yard, Carp Fix, whether people have grumbled about why is this not free. But yeah, from knowing what it takes to make that sort of content, we get paid through, the customers will watch our videos, ideally love Nash, and go out and buy products, which in turn is the payment. But if that's not your motive, if Subography or Carp Fix, your motive isn't that, then that stuff doesn't happen for free. Like you say, it takes an incredible amount of investment in cameras, equipment, that sort of thing. But time, it's extremely time consuming. It can't happen for free. It can't happen for free if there isn't a different revenue stream, i.e. going and buying the products which fuel it. So for, I guess, Daryl Peck, if no one pays him to do that, it cannot be done, and then you won't get that content anyway. And if you want to watch it you can't watch it for free.
No.
But if you want to watch more content, you got to pay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've worded it terribly, but
I know what you mean. It's basically people essentially will vote with their feet. Well, not with their feet, with their payments. Yeah. It will work because people will pay for that content. Yeah. Or it won't work, and because people won't view it.
Yeah, if you want more content, you just got to pay the money. Yeah. If you don't want more content, tough luck. It's like me. I guess it's like going into a shop going, I want that T-shirt, but I don't want to pay for it. Yeah. Someone's gone and made that and marketed it and put it, but I don't want to pay for it. Well, no, you got to pay.
But sometimes, and this is probably from my, previous retail background, sometimes fishing can be like that in terms of somebody will always ask, like, you wouldn't go into Tesco's, buy your shopping and say, whoa, it's the best price you can do on that guy. Do you know what I mean? But fishing-wise,
don't stop me trying.
Yeah, I'll try. But fishing-wise, there is a bit of a mentality around price, payment, etc., but also sort of bartering price because of, I don't know, maybe an old tackle shop lineage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. But then also from, I guess, the media point of view, people must be so used to having their so much high quality free content for so long that when someone suddenly says, I've got this video, do you want to pay for it? They're a bit like, whoa, I've had everything for free all my life.
Yeah.
Why would I? But it's no different to going out and buying one of the old, like an old DVD or something like that, where like before the free DVDs that come out, you know, the old like John Wilson DVD, maybe VHS back then. But you know, I think they're good. I think they're great. I think the more content being put out, the better. It only shows, and the fact that they're being successful, and people are going and buying these subscriptions. And not just like I'd class like Photography as the big boys. Like even Carp are relatively new.
Yeah,
I know they are successful, and I know they're doing really, really well. And the fact that that is happening means there's a demand for it. So why not give the people more? If there's a demand for it, just keep it going. And it just shows the strength of this industry, because I spoke on a podcast with Jules and Alfie over a year ago now, and there was that little bit of worry, like rod licenses are going down and subscriptions are going down and people are going to fall out of love with fishing, and the industry in 20 years isn't going to be what it. But if people are willing to invest, you know, if these things are cropping up and people are willing to invest in them, then great news for the industry.
Yeah, totally. I think it's interesting. Media, obviously, even in like, you've been there 5 years at Nash.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot and it's ever evolving. But it seems that definitely that little faction has broken out where people with profile have started to do their own, rightly so, and they're being successful. Would you say there's any difference, bar the fact that obviously there's not that business element involved if they're an individual doing it? Would you say there's any difference in the content with regards to quality, with regards to anything like that, in comparison to what is free or available? Or is it just the angle on that content?
I think it's the angle. I don't think there's any difference in quality.
Yeah.
Because I know we all use the same sort of kit.
Yeah.
And everyone's the same programs to edit it, same cameras to shoot it, and the guys who are doing it are all of a very, very high ability anyway. They've all worked in the industry in some capacity, and they've come from Corda or Sticky, or, you know, and so they've got that industry experience. I wouldn't say it's any less quality at all or any more quality at all, really. I think it's the same. I think the big difference is the angle they put on it, and there's also an admiration for it because it's pressure.
Yeah.
There's a lot more pressure, I think, for them guys than for us. Like, if we go out and do a shoot and the angler's blank.
It's the next 3 nights.
The next 3 nights, we're about to go shoot a winter video. But I always say this to the lads we interview, is like, the reality of our job is you're expecting a wild animal to eat a piece of metal. And that's what hangs sometimes the success of your video. Because no one wants to watch a video where nothing really happens. You know, we occasionally put it out, but there's no denying the most successful videos we do are the ones where there's a lot of action and a lot of fish put on the bank. But, you know, if people are paying for that content, I think it heightens that even more. The want to see action, and quite often we'll can it. You know, if it goes really badly, unfortunately we'll can it. Not to say we're not transparent, because we do occasionally put out videos where not a lot really happens, but, you know, all these guys blank, but like no one really wants to watch it. And so that investment in time and money and effort of like the editing process for it not to do very well, it means that it's better for us to can it and go reshoot it. And I know everyone's like that, really, but for these guys, they will still have to put out that content because they might have to, because people are paying and expecting
something weekly or something bi-weekly or whatever it may be.
I've watched some of them where not a lot happens, and they've made it brilliant and watchable, and they invest in the characters so much more rather than anything else. And I think it's I think it's brilliant, really.
Do you think that there'll ever be a point at which brands start a paid section or a bonus content sort of streaming aspect? Do you think that'll ever morph into brands?
Maybe. I can't speak for any other brand, you know what I mean? But through Nash, no, I don't think. I can't tell from what the people above me want to say, but if, you know, obviously, as someone who kind of runs the media team here, I'd put my foot down and say, absolutely not. I'd never want to charge for any of our content. No. I'd never want to. And I'd like to, you know, I might get fired and overruled one day, but I'd like to put it out there and say, as long as I'm here, that will never happen. Yeah. Because...
It doesn't need to, does it?
No, the customers give us so much in terms of they're invested in our brand. Why would I want to then charge them for the... I like to see the videos as a reward. Might be a bit arrogant to say that, a bit weird. But we want to give people free... We want to give people content. We want to give people entertainment. We don't want to shove product, go, buy this, buy this, buy this. I want to give them a Eurobanks and an Urban Banks and all this amazing content for them to watch. So I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if we had to charge them. And I know Carl and Alex were very much the same. They're different now in terms of they're a company in themselves, so one day they might have to. But I know Carl especially was so adamant about never wanting to... All the stuff always being free. Always being free. And never... I think he even put off... I know they've gone into merchandise now. I know he even put off that for a long time
they did.
Because he didn't want people to have to... Because his audience as well are young. He didn't want people to have to pay for that. He wanted just to go out, fish, and give people in content that they enjoy. And he's made both of them have made a huge success of it. So they've done it a way where I made a great living out of it.
Yeah, they've done really well.
Without having to charge people. Yeah. You know, I know they've got their Patreon site set up and that sort of thing. So,
but as you said, I think... part of that and the merchandising has come from the pressure of their audience asking for it, not necessarily them.
Huge demand for it, of course, yeah. And I think they've done it very well in terms of like they've just done some nice little bits which are different, like key rings and sticker sets and calendars. Like I think it's a nice way to say like you can have a little bit. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. No. We're not going to put out a hoodie for 55 quid and it's going to break the bank. Like they just give you a little bit of something that you can give to a bit of money, you get something nice from them, and you know they've gone down that route. And I think, I mean, there's 100 different ways of people doing this and making a living out of it, and that's just another way. Yeah,
but I think also a benchmark, and this is speaking before I've obviously joined Nash. A lot of Nash's content is not, even though it is in a way that you're saying it has to have some sort of link. Eurobanks doesn't have product pushing in it. It's just two blokes in a van listening to drum and bass and catching fish around Europe. Yeah, realistically, it's aspirational more than it is product driven.
And I think a lot of people, sorry to interrupt, I think a lot of people kind of sometimes get, not the wires crossed, but interpret it the wrong way when there's like a rig demo. And they go, he's trying to sell me these hooks and this hook link. But a lot of people, flip side, want to know how Alan Blair just managed to catch one out the edge so quickly. Like, what was the rig that did it? What was the bait that did it? Whereas some people don't. So, you know, you can make a cup of coffee and some people go, no, it's too strong. Other people say it's too weak. You're never going to please everyone. No. But I like to think we try and do it in a way which is tasteful. Yeah. As such. Like, so when someone catches something, maybe we will do a quick rig bit. A quick rig bit. Not because we want to go, well, he's caught that on squid bait and this, that, and the other, and we want to push it. There are times where we do more product focused and information focused, like the piece we're about to do, winter fishing. We're going out to shoot it tomorrow. If it goes well, it'll be out in January sometime. But the aim of that piece, the fundamental aim of that piece, is to give people as much information and as many tips for them as possible to go out and catch something this winter. Yeah. Some people watch it and go, well, it's full of product. You're just pushing product, like, and we'll get slated for it. But it's not why we're here. No. I want people to catch fish. That's all we want. We want people to catch fish. Yeah, cool. Enjoy the content and hopefully learn a thing or two and go out and catch
And if you
fish.
put it out the other way with somebody just catching loads of fish without any information, everybody asks for information. So you are in a bit of a catch-22 at times.
So that's why we try and make different types of videos all the time. We've massively gone off the subscription.
No, I like
things,
it, mate.
But
it's
like,
good. It's good. I like the segue.
I've just seen Carp Fix, Pecky's one. He's doing Pecker's Techers.
Pecker's Techers with rigs,
there is obviously a demand for people who want to sit and watch what rigs he uses and how he does it and how he catches so many fish. So
content is king, but it's different for everyone and what people want. So that's essentially it. And go on, mate.
Fundamentally, if you don't want to watch it, you don't pay.
Exactly.
You're not being made to pay for it.
No. Too right.
Yeah.
More power to the streaming sites, I think. Big love to all of you. I've watched quite a few of them. I'm interested to see Carp Fix and the likes of, and the new generation that will no doubt spring about. Yeah. Dan, thank you for coming on. I also need to say thank you for bearing with me endless phone calls about editing, mate, because I've never edited before. And this man is an absolute legend. He's helped me out loads, as well as Alf. So big love to both of you. And we'll definitely get you back on again, mate.
Well, to be fair, I've just literally, before I come in here, I looked at the comments on the Jimmy Armstrong podcast, which I've listened to half of it on the way in today. Very good. People are saying Alf out, get Dan back in.
It's done, mate. Alf's not heard
this.
They
want me. They want me back.
They want a bit of Dan,
apart
mate.
from one guy going, I'm glad to see you've got a new presenter. Who was the other guy anyway?
Brutal. I paid that guy, it's fine.
My name's Danny Omans, and I'm a broken man now.
No, mate, you're back in. Dan, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
we'll
mate.
See you soon, mate.
Cheers, bud.
Hello and welcome to the Nash Tackle Off the Hook podcast. Our guest today, none other than Mr. Leon Bartropp. Thanks for coming in, Leon.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
How are you, mate? And what have you been up to?
Yeah, I'm good. I've just been doing a bit of fishing, or a bit of blanking, should I say. And a bit of France a few times. Just busy working. Obviously launched the new subscription website and working for all my clients as well. So, yeah, it's busy, mate. And we got Christmas coming up, haven't we?
We have got Christmas coming up, mate. It might be the new year when this comes out, but Christmas is coming up, mate. Busy is a theme, I think, for you. We had a chat on the phone before this pod, just a bit of background, and I could probably do, with my list down there, about 20 podcasts, mate. You've had an epic life, an epic fishing career, and then loads of stuff off the side, and we're going to hopefully talk about as much as we can within the realms of this pod, mate.
Well, this will be sort of the first time I've actually ever spoke about anything like this about my life, and I think people might probably surprised at some of the jobs that I've done and how they've affected other things, and fishing as well, you know. That's the love of my life, me fishing.
Yeah, exactly. But you glossed over it. You said you'd done a lot of blanking, but you've had a recent absolute epic result, mate.
Yes, I had a cracking 65-pound 9-ounce mirror from Abbey Lakes, Fox Lake, a fish they called the New Year's Day fish, I believe.
Really?
And
New Year's Day fish?
It was just crazy. It's one of them ones where you're playing a fish. There's some lovely fish in that kind of brilliant complex. If you ever get a chance, anyone to fish it, go and fish it, because there's always a chance of a bite, no matter what the weather conditions are. 30 degrees or -5, always got a chance of a bite on one of the lakes there.
Yeah.
Playing this fish, and I got it quite close, and there was a massive vortex, and I thought, that is a big one. That's not just a normal 40 or 50, that's a big one. And this monster came up, and I don't know if you see where you overlay the photograph, but it's actually got an eye like a human eye.
Really?
It's real black, and it looks like it's got a hazel eye or something. It's like, it really freaked me out, really. I have to keep looking at it going, that's not right, that's like a person. You know, but it was, it's a cracking fish, and a well-known one in there as well.
Yeah.
So that's a new sort of European PB for me as well.
So what did it go, mate? 60?
65-pound 9 ounces.
That's an absolute chunk, isn't it, mate?
It was, and it's just it's not real long, but it's wide, and it's got, you put a saddle on it, you know. I got some drone footage of me putting it back as well.
Wow.
So, and it's like a horse. Yeah. I could just go on top of it and rode it in.
Unreal.
So what are these 80 and 90 pounders like some people catch? It's just
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Well, hopefully, mate, you'll find out. You're going back, aren't you, mate?
I am, yes. I'm going to go back soon. I've got a winter ticket for Abbey.
Yeah.
So when I'm not fishing, I sort of, last couple of years, I've fished a winter on a productive type lake in the UK. Like I'm on Chiller Mill this winter. Yep. Last winter I was on Welly, and then I go to France to Abbey Lakes on a winter ticket 3 or 4 times as well.
Yeah.
So I sort of, it's an event, it's the getting there and the preparing more than actually being there, which may sound a bit mad. It's the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
As Samir says, it's the journey.
Yeah, all about the journey. But also, mate, to be fair, nowadays, especially with traffic and the roads the way they are, maybe a bit quieter during COVID, but it sometimes can be quicker to get to Abbey than it can to get to...
Well, I live 20 minutes from the tunnel.
Right.
So to me, it's I'll go to Welly, although I haven't got a ticket anymore. I could go to Welly or St Ives.
Yeah.
And it'd take me just the same amount of time to go to, once I'm through the tunnel, to Abbey or Sky Lake, or I've been doing a little bit of public fishing as well in France this year.
Nice.
That was awesome. It's like a different level. I don't know why I haven't done it before. It's totally different to commercial fishing.
Yeah.
And it is all about the journey and all the obstacles and everything to do with it. It's awesome.
Nice. Very nice, mate. We'll talk a little bit more about your Abbey session. So how long were you at Abbey for?
I did a 4-dayer.
Okay.
I normally go for 3 or 4 days in the winter. I don't know where I'm getting older, but I've had enough after 3 or 4 days. Even in England, or 48 hours normally what I do in England. Any time of the year. Because I find after 3 or even, I couldn't imagine doing 4 days. I'd just be bored out of my mind. Because the waters I fish are not easy waters. So it's, as a young man, I could have done 2 weeks. I'm there for 2 weeks, stop work, ringing up, I'm not well. Amount of times I was in the bivvy, underneath the pillow, with things stuffed up my nose. I'm not feeling too well today, I can't come in. And, you know, what was that bleep? Nothing.
Yeah.
And they all knew I was a fisherman in most of the places I worked.
They?
But
you got away with it, sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
Nice, mate. So you did 4 days. Did you stay on the same lake, or did you move around?
I move around a little bit, depending, because there's so many lakes there.
Yeah.
It depends. If one's not looking like it's going to fish, or you've got a chance for a bite, wrap up, move. Because you normally park your van behind where you're fishing as well over there, so it's easy to move. And I think the 5 or 6 lakes there, everyone's got a 70-pounder in it.
Wow.
Or an upper 60. So it's
there is big fish in all of them. That is serious.
You know, it's
and tactically, if anybody's going to look at maybe going to Abbey during winter time, how did you approach it? What was the downfall of the?
I think wintertime, 100% you need maggot.
Yeah.
100%. You need some sort of natural, normally maggot. You don't need to use loads, but you need it in the mix with your boilie crumb and your hemp or your groats or whatever it is. A bit of corn. You can use a little dumbbell wafter I use with 10 maggots threaded on, bit of corn, on a sort of blowback rig. I mean, it's not difficult fishing. You've got your boat, boom, out there. Not like my English fishing. I'd never use a boat. Really. Yeah. It's just like, this is holiday fishing, so I'm using my boat. Yeah. Echo sounder, getting it out there, filling it down, dropping it. Oh, that's lovely.
And what are you looking for? Are you looking for firm spots, or
looking for hard spots, or drop-offs, or areas in the weed, or bars, or anything which is a bit different to the norm. And all those lakes have got, just like England fishing, but with an echo sound.
Yeah.
You know, where you'd feel it with a lead, that's a little bit shallower.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a clear spot. I'll put a bottom bait rig on that. The same sort of thing. You're just looking for the drop-offs or the little raises or the bit of weed, and that's a clear area, or that type of thing. And filling it down with braid. So
yeah, on the braid as well.
On the braid, I love braid.
Yeah, I remember. I'll never forget my first fish caught on braid. The fight is crazy, isn't it? On braid?
The first one, I always use a 24-foot fluorocarbon leader with braid. Yeah. And I learned that from Jacko many years ago in a tackle box. I said, I want to use some braid. He went, do yourself a favour, use some mono as 12-foot or 24-foot.
Yeah.
And it is, you can fit, whoa, but you don't lose. First of all, I went, all right, Jacko, okay. Well, lost one, straight in the hook.
Oh, really?
Because you're giving it so much, stick. And then you put that on it, like, oh no, maybe he was right, and he normally is right, Jacko, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not a bad angler, is he, mate? He's
just had a 60-pound common out of England.
Indeed.
What can you say?
What a lad. Let's cast it all the way back, excuse the pun. How did you get into carp fishing, mate?
It's a real strange one, because no one in my family fishes.
Yeah.
They look at me to say, you are some sort of alien. There's something wrong with what you want to go outside and sit by a lake for a day? What, a week? Yeah. And they just don't get it. My missus is the nuts, Mrs. B. She looks after me and everything else, but she don't even really get it. She just goes, okay, see you later.
You've taken her or not?
I took her once as a treat for her 40th birthday to France.
What a treat.
Nice. So I said, 40th birthday, we're going to do something special for your 40th birthday. So I took her to France. It was a house on the lake and everything. It was really nice. And she did catch a couple of tench. Nice. But I didn't want her near the rods, but she would catch one bigger than me. I know what she's like,
Beginner's luck.
But she lets me get on with it now.
Happy day.
But how I started fishing was, I grew up in the East End of London, and there was not really a lot of chances to go fishing in the East End of London.
Right.
And my grandfather, he said, we're going to go and visit my Uncle William one day, okay? So, okay, well, I'll come along. So I spent a lot of time with my grandfather and my grandmothers and all that type of thing. They took me, and he had some fishing tackle. He had like an old cane, split cane rod, little basket, and what's all that? My granddad said, well, he's not going to be using these. You can have that. I said, why is he not going to be using them? So explain to me this story. Back in the war, well, it sounds like Uncle Albert now. Back in the war, my great-great-uncle, his father, brought back a couple of grenades. They used to bring back grenades and guns and at the Second World, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And he had them in the cupboard for years in his jacket pocket. And my Uncle William, being a little hooligan, thought, I'm going to play with one of these. So he played with one. He blew his arm off.
Jeez.
Okay, so he only had one arm, my Uncle William, my great Uncle William. So he had no use for his fishing rods anymore. So he went, oh, boy, you use them. And that was it. The passion was born.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to take me to Snaresbrook Crown Court, Snaresbrook and Holler Ponds. Back then it was safe. Now you'd get murdered within a couple of evenings.
Really?
It's that rough there. Catching like roach and bream and all that sort of stuff. Then I progressed to the local sort of angling club, Wangi Angling Club it was called.
Wangi?
Wangi, what a name that is. Wangi Angling Club. And, you know, some of the match anglers took me underneath their wing, and I started winning a couple of matches and things like that. And then I got picked to fish the Junior Nationals.
Wow, yeah.
And fished that, and went to Ireland and fished the rivers for £100 a bream, match fishing.
So you got well into the match scene.
I got really into the match scene. I really did. But this particular club, Wangi, a lot of my friends now, they used to fish for England, match fishing.
Yeah.
From my oldest friends when I was a kid, they all do the old match fishing, fish for England and all that, you know. So they had this little pool, and I used to go down there with a float, bit of luncheon meat, catch a few roach and bream and all that. And then one day, what's that noise? Little lily pads and all that, and it was, yeah, chucked me sandwich down there, hadn't I? So it's like, what's that? And it's a great big pair of lips. I'm having some of that.
The carp slurp.
Reeled in the float, took it off, got me hook, and just got a bit of sandwich, put it in like that. Bloody hell, yeah, gone. Oh, mate, crazy. All round the lake, all round it, following it. £11. It could have been £111. £11. I was blown away. Look at the size of this thing.
That's
it's
a
massive.
unit, isn't it?
And then that was it. I started going down and catching like doubles and 13, 12 pounders. And the match fishing, the pleasure fishing really took a bit of a back seat.
Yeah.
I started doing the old carp fishing, you know, and went to a lake called, I'm still at school now. I'm still
What
at
was
school.
school like for you, mate?
Hated school. I left at
Did you?
15. I left school. I done my exam, left. Hated it. Absolutely hated school.
In what way? What do you mean?
I was a little fat, chunky little kid who used to get picked on a lot and all that sort of thing. And you know, kids are cruel, aren't they? When they're younger. I just didn't like it. I was confused. I've got one of these brains. The way it works is if you give me a multiple choice, I'm all over the place because I can work out 2 or 3 things that every one of those multiple choices will be right. So my brain is like, well, yeah, but that could be right if that. Explain the question to me a bit more. Yeah. So school was like that. I was like a deer in the
black
headlight.
and white, you can't deal with it.
Black and white, I can't deal with it. It's I can work things out, but black and white is like, well, they're both right. Yeah. They've 3 answers. They're all right if you do this, or what's the context of the question? And I'd just go around it. And I hated it. It used to stress me out.
Yeah.
I'd do an exam.
Yeah, not the one.
Not the one. I'm terrible at exams. Absolutely terrible.
So you'd done at 15?
Done at 15. Just was getting on the bus to Hainault Lake.
Yeah, that is infamous.
Hainault Lake. And there were some anglers on there, I tell you. Terry Dempsey,
yeah.
Tony Moore. You had the guy who started up, Del Kim, the original guy, Kim and Del. There was all these absolute guy called Wow Man. There was all these
Wow Man,
and there was all these anglers who were just carp anglers. Danny Regan, from the East End of London as well. And I'd go over there and not with any fishing rods. I was too scared to take my fishing rods. So I'd fished it in the match fishing, but I'd wanted. had a 40 pounder in there.
Yeah.
You know, this is like
epic, isn't it?
30, 40 years ago, I had a 40 pounder in
Yeah.
there. And I just used to pester the angler. Oh, what are you doing now? Take me. This guy called Danny Regan, he took me under his wing and said, well, this is what you need to do. This is the rods you need to get, the reels. This is the rigs. And the first rig that he ever showed me that he was using, which was top secret then, was like the Ronnie rig.
No
This was like
way.
30, 40 years ago. Right? This was like very similar to the Ronnie rig. Bent hook, running on the shank and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
He took me underneath his wing, taught me how to cast and all this sort of the little intricate bits about carp fishing all them years ago. So I have to thank him for my fishing, really. And he helped me catch my first 20. I had my first 23-pound 6 on this SBS strawberry jam boilie. I still remember it now, from the back of the island at Hainault. And he helped me catch that, you know.
That is epic,
and
mate.
I wish I still had a photograph of it. I cannot find a photograph anyway. But I caught this 23-pound 6 ounce, and it's a park lake.
Yeah.
It's 30 degrees during the day when I caught this in amongst snags. And I've got it out, played this fish, got it in, and I'm buzzing. I'm like, oh my God, it's massive, you know, 23 pound, whatever it was. And I've turned around, there's 100 people standing behind me, all clapping.
That's mad, isn't it?
It just blew my mind.
I remember some of Terry's stories were the same, just like, it used to be like a bit of a social scene as well, didn't it?
Big social scene there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only, Touchwood, it's the only place where I had all my fishing gear nicked when I was there, when I was a kid.
Mate.
I had all my carp gear, I had to restart all again, but it's my own fault because I walked up to someone else, was sat in there because of the social thing.
Yeah, and it's gone.
You know, but there's some real original anglers who fished that lake all them years ago.
What was the jet? Because obviously, Mr. Regan, fair play to him. He's taking you under the wing and he's sort of showing you the way.
It's all his fault, I say to my missus.
She'd probably agree.
I see him every now and again, not really. He's about 10 years older than me, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I see him every now and again, about once every 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, a little chat he's doing and all that sort of, you know. And then he sort of take me to Walthamstow when I could drive. And, you know, then we went on to fish Darrenth together.
Yeah, wow.
Which was...
They are like infamous breeding grounds of like
this
carpers,
was
aren't they?
Like in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
So it was all happening there.
Yeah.
There was only one other place in the whole country which was better or on par or would be better. Would that be Yateley? Yeah. Car Park and all that and Basil and all that is when those late 80s is when it really came to. But Darrenth Big Lake and Darrenth Tip Lake. Was the I wasn't allowed to go on the Tip Lake.
No.
I did fish it and catch a few. Me and Dempsey fished a few guests. Well, not guests. I went and fished with him. Yeah. And we caught quite a few between us. Those couple of guests I did with him. But
would you say that most people, so obviously you said there, you're quite young, you're going up, you're pestering people, you're finding out info, and you said there was a little bit of sort of trepidation around taking your kit and fishing it initially.
Yeah,
was
scary.
Was the general consensus quite friendly and quite accepting, or were there a few lads that were like...
No, it was quite chilled because there was a big, dare I say it, there was a big puff scene at the time, so they was all chilled out, and it was like summer of love and all that. So they was all like, come on, and I used to bring them over cans of like soup and things like that, and baked beans and like, but they'd be there for weeks and weeks and weeks. These guys, and like, oh, thanks for that, thanks for bringing me that over, and you know, they sit there and
so they're pretty relaxed.
They're all chilled.
Yeah,
they're all chilled. They're loving life. They're camping.
Yeah,
they're having adventures.
The puff scene, that's made me laugh, mate, a lot. And then obviously you've progressed from there. So you're now sort of how old? You've caught your first 20. You must be.
I caught my first 20. I was bloody hell, 15, 16, something like that. I think something like that.
You're still young,
even younger than that, maybe. I think it could have been. But then we went to Darrenth. I always remember it was like. I'm sure I didn't drive. Then. Yeah. I'm sure I used to go to the phone box, ring my mum up to come pick me up.
Yeah, taxi.
Taxi. You know, across. I lived in Essex then, and Darrenth was in Kent, so she'd have to come all the way through. So it was it's a fair play to my mother. She used to travel, pick me up 2:00 in the morning, and take me everywhere. You know. But yeah, then we progressed to Darrenth, and wow, what a for the first season. I fished the first swim as you come in through over the over the bridge and just fished in the pads. No one had fished to swim because I was scared to go anywhere else.
What do you mean scared? Like what? Why?
It's like
because it was daunting.
Daunting, absolutely daunting. Some of the anglers on there, you had like I think it was a bit after Jacko's time, and you had all these anglers. You had Rob Tuff, you had all these original sort of mainline and Nash and all them guys. You had Nookie Bear on there, the guy. And you had Bob, who used to do all the stuff for Tackle Box, all the bivvies, and he died many years ago now. There's some real anglers on there, and even more sort of original gangster anglers up on the Tip Lake. Yeah. You know, Paul Selman, Tim Paisley.
Yeah, the founding fathers.
Fathers you had up there, and it was like, I remember we walked up to me and this other guy, this new member, walked up the Tip Lake one night. It was one of them where there was a big pub scene as well. Yeah. You'd leave your rods out and go to the pub. Yeah. You'd just leave them out all night. We used to play so many games on each other, like swap the rods over. You know, take the spools off, swap them all over. There's one guy used to get so drunk, he'd come back and like in the morning he'd be like, he'd have rods all over. We used to play tricks. We was only young lads, you know. But we went up to the Tip Lake one night. Well, one evening before I want to go and see what's up there, you know. I've never been up,
You never even seen it, no?
Never even seen it. I'd fished a big lake. Right, let's go up there and have a look. Walked up there, they had a big fire going, the guys up there. We got within about 30 yards of them, they went, fuck off, big lake anglers. So we turned around and went back the other way.
That is...
Never to be seen for about 2 years until I grew up a bit more and fished it with Dempsey up there. But it wasn't very much like them and us. They hated anyone. It wasn't real carp fishing the big lake. Tip Lake was the
one,
the car park of Yateley. It was the one.
Yeah.
Big lake anglers, you're noddies. Don't even set foot on this hallowed ground. It was very much like that.
Like a rite of passage, though. We thought,
right, we'll chance it. Yeah. You know, I think you had guys up there called like Hippie Paul, one was called, and Hippie Paul, and you had these founding fathers of carp, man. You know, most were probably dead now, you know. And it's walk up, should we chance it? You know, they don't like us up there. We'll go up there, fuck off.
That is one.
Okay, sorry.
That is some reception, isn't it? When you're like in your youth as well.
It was like, okay.
But the scene at the time, like,
everything was secret. And I mean, I Zen and Bodko, he was fishing a big lake with Raoul. Raoul was a little kid. Oh, the stories I could tell you about what we used to get up to. And
go on, what's one of the like craziest?
we used to have, we had this one guy who'd fished there. He was a tennis coach.
Yeah.
I think he was. Ginger, I remember ginger hair, and we all thought he was gay.
Right.
His missus come down one day, mate, you never seen nothing like it.
What?
It was like a 11 out of 10.
Really?
It was like, we're thinking, oh my God, like that. But where he was so effeminate all the time, I used to pick on him, tease him, and do all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And one night, Guy Fawkes night was notorious for letting off fireworks and crazy things over there and other lakes around the country. But these guys be down the pub, they come back, we'll pay a trick on him. Right, so lit this banger or firework, put it on top of his umbrella. Ooh. We all had umbrellas then. There was no bivvies or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. And he's like half asleep, laying on his bed chair. And it was going, it burnt through, landed on his bed there, and just went off
inside the brolly.
Inside the brolly, all cracked. It burnt through it and went everywhere. You think, oh my God, that's like probably 3 months inside. That is,
that's not great, is it?
It's not good. Imagine if he'd got burnt or his face, or the time it was on the floor in bits.
Really,
it was just the thing. Used to swap over the reels and.
You've done it with a firework. What
did
he do?
One's gear and put it in the van and bring it back. And where's that all gone? And
just
things used to do.
Yeah, of course, mate. Different
Crazy.
times.
Wouldn't do it now. It's just
that sounds
different times, mate. And it was. I learnt so much from fishing there. Just there was another character on it called Doctor or Patient. We used to call him, right? Because he was a doctor,
right?
And he was a mental health doctor,
right?
He was still one of the lunatics. But mate, he should have been in there himself. He was that great. He was one of them. That's why we called him Doctor or Patient. And it made me think outside the box. He'd come down on a Friday after work, crazy as anything, right? And he couldn't find a swim. So he'd pick the first swim he'd go to. Never caught nothing all year.
Yeah.
Never caught nothing. Not even a sniffer. I don't think he even had any bait on.
Yeah.
But he loved it. Next year, he come down, he went, well, I've got a plan. So we had a plan for the second year.
Oh, no.
He rolled up these baits. They must have been 50 millers.
Yes.
Right? 50, 60 millers even.
Yeah.
Mate, we couldn't stop laughing at
Yeah.
it. We couldn't. Look at this crazy sod. This crazy. Put them in. But 30 of them was about 5 kilo.
Yeah.
Put them in this swim, 10 foot out. No one ever fished a swim. Bum, bum, bum. Nothing. So he told you like that. Come back next week, done the same thing again. He caught 3. 3 big fish in the
Of course he
lake.
did. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hello. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And I actually remember that, and I took that particular thing that you got to think outside the box sometimes. I went to Horton,
Yeah.
and at the time when I was fishing Horton, I had Jim Shelley, you had Terry,
Wow.
you had Sharpie, you had Beadle, you had Martin Pick, you had about 10 full-timers on there.
Yeah.
Not a chance of getting in any of the good swims.
No,
I
no,
thought,
yeah.
got to do something different.
Yeah.
So I started using 50mm baits.
Yeah. Gobstoppers.
And this was because of that instance, and another friend of mine called Johnny Miller, he said to me, why don't you use 50mm baits down there? Sod off. And then I thought about this doctor or patient guy. Yeah, why not? So I had a 6-inch hook link,
Yeah.
5-ounce lead, inline lead, 50mm bait.
That must have looked mental.
I looked at it, I can't cast that out. Well, you
Yeah.
couldn't cast it for a start. It was
Yeah.
just like that. Boom, that'd do. First bite, wood carving.
Oh.
Second bite, another original, fantail. And so I blanked for most of the time. And all these other guys, Jimmy, all them catching
Yeah,
and in the swims and
consistent.
full time and
Yeah.
it doing all week and there. I was working. 50mm baits, both of them.
That's mad, isn't
Crazy.
it?
Just thinking outside the box, having the bollocks to do something different.
Yeah, yeah. Especially in that company as well. Do you know what I mean?
You learned
It's
a
not
lot
easy.
from them guys, you know. It was. I remember when I first got my ticket again. I was like, went down for the draw at Horton, scared shitless. Yeah, it was like this is
Another level.
This is another level.
Yeah, yeah.
It took me a little while to have the courage to even walk round.
Yeah. What at this time? So you're 15. You've grown up. Your sort of teenage years,
Yep.
your formative years on the
Yep.
proper carp scene, if you like. What you said there? You worked. So
Yep.
you've left school at 15.
Left school at 15. I was. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do at school.
No.
So I enrolled in a YTS scheme.
Okay.
Computers. My mother sort of got me into, went to see the careers advisor, which you don't have anymore, I don't think. Careers advisor, what can he do? I used to love computers and taking things apart and all that. So I went and done a YTS up the Tottenham Court Road on one of their schemes as a computer science.
Yeah.
Computer literature, computer science, learn about programming and all that. And block release, a company called the University Computing Company, which dealt with data and putting tapes on and programming stuff. And I learned to become a computer programmer.
Yeah.
So, and I left that after a year doing the YTS, and I went and worked for Hapag Lloyd,
Right.
which is a big shipping company,
Okay.
as a trainee computer programmer.
That's quite a big gig then, no?
Yeah, it was. That's my mind. I'm very technical, with
Right.
stuff. Very, I can work things out if I sort of get an inkling of what it's about. So, and they taught me how to become a computer programmer.
Wow.
So I did that for 2 or 3 years. Them training, qualified, could program how ships go around the world, all that type of stuff, and just all the problems and all that type of thing. And then a job came up for stockbrokers for being a computer programmer in the city, and it was Shearson Lehman, the one who went
Yeah.
bankrupt and all that
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
It's for them. So I took that job. So I was going up the city every
The
day.
city, mate. And all this time you're angling as well.
I'm angling as well when I can, that type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I've always had a job. I've always worked full time, whether it be my own work or whatever it is. So I qualified. I got more, and I thought, I used to watch these guys in Ferraris and all that and everything. I think I can do that.
Yeah, big money.
I can do that. I'm having some of that, I think. But for me, East End boy, you ain't doing that. Your dad needs to own half of Northumberland for us to even think about putting you in there as a dealer.
Was it quite locked out then?
Most of it. You could become, you could work in a back room, and you could become a dealer in the sort of hub where all the East London guys would, deal with all the companies and buy and sell for everyone else, all the top boys, all the private school boys who had all the clients. They held that, jobs for the boys sort of thing. So I thought, sod down, I'm going to have some of this. I'm definitely going to have some of this. So I'd done all my exams and everything else. Took me about 5 times because obviously some of it's multiple choice. I'm like, oh my God, but they all make sense. Failed it about 3 times while I'm still working at the stockbrokers. They've took me on now because they can see I want to, as a trainee broker, working for some of these old. One was a lord, one was, member of parliament and all this, and I was just there. Right, we're going down the pub, we're going to the boys' club, just look after everything. And I just learnt talking to clients and doing deals for them and all that. Got me qualifications, started getting my own clients and things like that. And it was a baptism of fire, and everyone around me was a public school boy, and I was the only sort of East London white boy amongst them all, and they just couldn't. You shouldn't be here. What are you doing here? And I should be in the dealing room with the other East London guys.
Yeah.
My forte was I was very quick.
Okay.
So I could deal really quickly and get the good prices and all this and do all that. So it was so they liked me because I used to get the best prices for them in the market. Bigger stockbrokers. So so that's what sort of work-wise I've done there. But then again, one day...
that must have been lucrative, mate. No?
Very lucrative. But when you've got and I don't want to speak ill of my ex-wife because my daughters will probably be watching this, but as soon as I made it, she spent it.
Okay.
Right, as simple as that.
So it came with a lifestyle as well?
Yeah, definitely. I had nice new cars, everything like that. Holidays 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah. Nice house. I was earning 150, 200 grand a year, mate.
Yeah.
Out of...
an East End boy as well. Does that not come with a lot of temptation, mate?
100%. There's a scene around everything of going out on a Friday night and getting up to whatever. That it probably still is now.
Yeah.
It's just part and parcel, that type of thing. But great times, good times, earning money. But it also taught me, because then we had a market crash and there's a lot of other things going on. Like I was exposed with a client of mine for, like I said before, 4 or 5 million quid, and it was on me. It was like, hang on a minute,
because that's what you said. So I didn't understand when you first were talking about it. The market's crashed, but this particular deal, the firm is out of pocket 4 or 5 mil.
Yep.
And that 4 or 5 mil has to be recouped by you.
Yes, so it has to be recouped. If I can't get it from my client, it has to be recouped by me.
My God, mate.
So as I said, I had to, this client of mine. That particular year, we'd done £100 million worth of deals, which is like phenomenal from a guy from the East End who's
it's mad.
who'd done nothing in school. It's like to see yourself in, I thought I was God.
Yeah.
And then it taught me you've got to be a little bit humility, and things aren't always going to go your way, even if you think you're living the dream. You're not. And the market crashed. I think it's Black Friday, I think it was called. My client and me was exposed for about 5 million quid.
Oof.
And it's like, well, how are you going to pay that? Well, my client's got to pay it because it's his debt. Well, if he don't pay it, you're paying it.
Yeah.
Whoa, hang on a minute. I ain't got the money. I ain't got that.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. So I had to hire private investigators to go and see him on his boat in Marbella to get the money back. Eventually paid it back. I went for a divorce at that point as well, which incidentally on my divorce papers it says fishing.
That right there is the carpiest thing I've ever heard. On your divorce papers, it says fishing.
It does. It says fishing. I should have brought it with me, shouldn't I? But I'm quite proud of that.
That's big.
And I wasn't even going very much then.
I was going to say, with all this,
well, I wasn't. It was just me and the ex-wife weren't meant to be together. It's simple as that. She's a different person to me, and I think she thought, well, what can I put on there to actually say that he's been bad? Fishing, that's the one.
Yeah, he's done it.
I'll put down fishing. He's always fishing. That's it. Okay.
It's a crazy. That is going from an East End boy who leaves school at 15 to making 100+ grand a year in the stock market, a divorce, and this is like, what? How old are you now?
30 years of age. Then I was 30 years of age. I was 29, 30, and it come down to it. I managed to get all that sorted out. So gone through the divorce, got all the money back, got the £5 million back, blah, 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 blah. Markets have continued to be a little bit more normal. But can you imagine the stress of all that going on at the same time? I've got little kids of 1 and 2 years of age.
Oh, you've got kids?
I've got 2 little young girls then as well. This is 20-odd years ago.
Oh, mate, that is...
It's all going on. It's all crazy. It's all like, you know, from thinking, I'm God, I'm the dog's nuts, I'm pressing buttons and earning 20 grand and all this and all that, thinking, yeah, I'm untouchable, look at me, I'm living the dream. Nah, mate, you've got to start... It set me in good stead for the rest of my life, put it that way, to think worst case scenario all the time. You know, everything else is a bonus.
I mean,
it's made me very careful, or as my missus says, a bit shy around a pound note.
Yeah,
you know,
the northerner coming out.
It's the northerner coming out. But so then one day I went into work and I went, I'm not doing this anymore. I've had enough of all this. I want to get out of this. I want to go fishing. I want to keep my mind where it should be without going crazy. I want to go fishing. Right, handed me notice. Spoke to a good friend of mine, Dave Levy, who was working for BP, bringing up the boats and the ships up the Thames and docking them in and pumping all the oil and diesel. 4 days on, 4 days off. Oh, that's a bit of me.
Here we
went
go.
for the interview, got that, did that for another 3 or 4 years. So
there's a Carpy connection there as well with the Levy, isn't
there? Definitely. Well, I was, probably won't like me for saying this, but I was engaged to his sister to get married as well.
Oh, mate, you're straight back in here. You got a divorce and then straight back in?
Mate, glutton for punishment, aren't I?
Yeah.
You know, it's... thinking with parts of my body I shouldn't be thinking with all the time. Should be thinking with this rather than something else.
Well, mate, it's worked out with Mrs. B, though, hasn't it? So
mate, she's an absolute diamond. She's 1 in a million.
Everything
I said I'm one of these like never, ever, ever going near one of them things again. You know, but or getting married or any. Mate, I wouldn't. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have her. She's my rock. She's my stone.
Yeah, good stuff.
You know, good woman.
Yeah.
And she buys me biscuit a week every week.
Mate, I've catered for you here. Although I don't know if one of them is a biscuit. One is
the swaffle or whatever it's called, isn't it?
Stroop waffle or whatever.
Stroop waffle, yeah.
I think they're a waffle.
Yeah, you stick them on top of your coffee and they melt.
These are a bit big, aren't they, mate? I didn't buy big enough street waffles.
Definitely
Amateur
not.
Performance. But the salted caramel cookies, mate, are the ones. I take them. They are my ones. If I'm off for a good couple of nights on the bank, especially winter, they're dunkable as well.
They're
mate.
good, and they're good carbs, which is good in the winter. Keeps you warm.
Always good.
Definitely.
So you're, let's say, well, leading up to sort of 29, where you've had this sort of divorce, everything's gone crazy, but you've come out the other side. Now you're at BP with Mr. Levy. What waters are you concentrating on fishing at this point?
Horton as well. I'd moved on from Dartmouth, obviously.
Yeah.
I'd gone and fished up at the CA, some of the CA waters.
Yes.
Borehammere. We fished there many, many years ago. It was about 4 or 5 of us. Fished it. It was the case of the fish meal boom.
Yeah, we on that.
Banged in a fish meal. Everything went up £10.
Yeah.
There's fishing there called Event, which has never been £40. It's always been £35. £40 plus. Big common in there, went over 40. We all caught all the fish between us. The locals hated us. And it was, you know, it was another learning thing, another different type of water, another different place to go, you know. So and then
rigs, baits, like baits. We've said. Oh, apologies, it's my phone. Baits we've talked about in terms of the fish meal boom, but in terms of rigs and sort of advancements, how are things progressing in terms of that side of stuff at the time?
I remember when I fished Dartmouth and places like that, it was just a bit of Merlin, I think.
Yeah,
a bit of forced multi-strand or whatever it was, an Ordy on hook, or a bit of nylon. I progressed from there to nylon.
Yeah.
Running lead, no clips or nothing like that. Just running lead, up and down. Hook length about that long.
Yeah.
Boilie, probably about a foot away from the hook, something like that. You know,
the old extra long hair,
extra long hair, and cast that out 10 yards and watch it spin with an inline lead to make sure it didn't.
Yeah, tangle.
No feeling it down or anything.
No.
That's the one. Yeah, that'd do, sort of thing. No clips or no, you know, and then just firing a load of 20 mil, you know, Premier baits or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
With the old nod oil and things like that in there. And yes, basic as basic could be, rigs really.
Yeah.
And caught a few. I mean, I remember it was 88, 89 when I was at Dartmouth. There's a fish in there called Smallhead, which was at the time was about 36 pounds.
That's a massive
which
fish.
Then, mid-80s.
That's a massive fish.
The only fish that could compare was the Yakeley fish then.
Yeah.
And the tip lake fish.
Yeah.
And I caught that. Gone. I caught my first 30, which is a 33 pounder. From there, I should live over there. You know, when I wasn't working, I'd be over there.
Yeah.
You know, even it was just a phenomenal place to learn. It really got into my skin. You know, I'm always thankful for that, for learning from all those other guys, those older guys showing me and the passion. And then I caught this fish called smallhead, 36 pound 14. And another one called the Unknown, which was 31 or 32 pound as a brace. And I've got them as the shot there and the one on me thing and that, like this. And it was like, I've never seen anything so big in all my life.
Mega.
This was like late 80s and it's 36.14. It's like massive. Crazy.
They are mega fish for the time.
For that time, it was...
what's that nowadays? That's like an upper 50, isn't it?
I don't
It's
know.
a big old fish, mate.
There was put it this way, I think in the whole country at the time, there was probably 4 40s, I think, something like that.
Ridiculous.
Yateley, I think most of them. The one somewhere else, I think.
Yeah.
But there weren't no 40 pounders around, that's for certain.
Wow.
To have a mid to upper 30 it really was something.
Yeah. And then obviously onto Horton. Now you said that there was a spell where you used the old gobstopper 20 plus 60 mil baits, whatever they were, and you caught 2. How did you find your time, and how did you progress on that venue? Because that is again another iconic venue in terms of, as you said, the anglers that were on it and learning from them.
That was it, and it's like any place I've ever gone to, always learning from other people. A real good angler once said to me, I said to him, I sort of worked out he was a really good angler, and he used to keep himself to himself, even so that if he had a bite and someone coming to swim, he'd put the rod down. He didn't want them to see what he was doing. He'd leave the rod, even if he put it down, buzzer, take the bait arm off, until the guy went. He'd ignore him. So he didn't want to see what he was doing. He was a really good angler. And I got to know him, and I didn't pressurise him and that, and I said to him, over a few years of fishing, the Essex Manor, this was, and I said to him, what's your biggest takeaway? What's your biggest edge? What's your biggest bit of advice you could give to become a really good angler? And he said, watch what everyone else is doing. Yeah. Watch what everyone else is doing and do the opposite. Yeah. He said, I bet I could go around. Everyone's lead now, and they're all using 3-ounce sleds. Use a 2-ounce sled. Yeah. Or a 5-ounce sled. Everyone's putting in 20 kilo boilies, use a single. No one's using particles, use particles. Use, everyone's using 12-inch hook links, use the 3-inch hook link. Yeah. I took that all on board, and he used to catch them for fun from everywhere he went. Yeah. You know.
Have you ever found that's gone against you in places?
It has, because what I tend to do is, there's always, if you go into a lake, there's always a way they're fishing it.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a way, like Horton, it was very much get a spot, stick out loads of particles, loads of 10 millers, loads of maize, loads of hemp, little small bits.
Yeah, bit fishing.
Little bit of plastic corn on top, sort of thing. Yeah. That used to do really well. So I'd always fish that way, because that would, chances are you might get a bite that way. Yeah. But I'd also always try and do something a little bit different as well, or learn from, he's catching more than everyone else. What's he doing differently? Yeah. And you had guys like Nick Elliott on there. You had all these, and you could not fail to learn. Jim Shelley, all these type of guys. So you'd be like, I'll take a photo for you. Oh, what time did you have that bite? What, and fish is shitting out yellow things. Yeah. Or maize. Yeah. Or tigers, or, you watch. I'm very good at, I keep myself to myself when I'm fishing. Yeah. But I don't miss anything that goes on.
No.
Someone moves. Why has he moved?
Yeah.
He's moved for a reason. Yeah. Why is he? Because there's always spots that everyone fishes to. Yeah. Of course. But there's always someone, new member or something, come on and do something different. Yeah. So you always got to be open to what everyone's doing. Do your own thing, but do what most of everyone else is doing as well, until you work out what's the way to go.
The one, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because whilst it's like with the chod rig, I was using that many, many years ago. Sharpie was using it. Ernie was using it. They was all using it. Yeah. Smashing places up. I was using it then as well. Yeah. Catching lots of fish out of the Manor, out of everywhere. We was catching them. Horton as well. Yeah. Different places. But it became less, because everyone got on it. less and less effective.
Of course.
But people, it's like with the Ronnie rig now.
Yeah.
It's less and less effective, but everyone's using it.
Yeah, of course.
Companies are bringing out new bits, new this for it, new that for it, new booms, new this, whatever.
Yeah.
Sort of past itself by that. You're going to catch because everyone's using it.
Yeah.
There are going to be some captures, but it's past itself by
You're almost catching in spite of it, aren't you?
Exactly. So if everyone's using the same bait in the lake, they're going to get caught in it. If everyone's using the same rig, they're going to get caught in that. But if you do something different, like go back to a chod rig now, because no one's using chods, only a few people, you're going to catch more than what you would on the Ronnies. That's what I'm always mindful of, changing things around. Once I find something, I'm bang on it. I'm bang on that spot, that swim, that rig, that pop-up, that colour, that rig setup, bang, I'm on it. That's it, right. Milk it for all you can while it's working.
Yeah.
But until then, you've got to be swapping and changing.
But then also, there is the fact that things come full circle, like you're saying.
100% chod rig, mate.
Yeah.
If I could, I get loads of questions through my social media.
Of course.
Fishing a weedy lake.
Yeah.
PVA bag. Can't find those spots. What's that? Get your chod rig on, mate.
Yeah.
Naked chod.
Yeah.
Oh, what's one of those? Oh, mate. Go and look at some of them videos.
Yeah.
That's what you want to use. Week later, I've had 3. Thanks for that. Really helped me. Thanks for that information.
Yeah.
I'll be on the chods now.
Yeah.
Especially winter time as well.
Yeah.
No one's using
presented, aren't you, mate? That's half the battle, isn't it?
PVA bags. Underused tactic. Really, really good tactic.
You said there about being on Horton, development, learning off people, and you named Nick Elliott, you named Jim Shelley.
Oh, mate.
There's more. What were your experiences with those type of lads? Because obviously they're
all characters.
Yeah,
you know, they're all characters in a different way, and you had all of them on the lake.
Yeah.
When I was on there at the same time.
Mad.
So all the egos are going.
Yeah.
All the I want to catch more than you. All that's going on, and everything else, and you're trying to slot in between them. There's skullduggery going on, and
what skullduggery?
Oh, you know, putting buckets in swims, and then you had the bailiffs on top of that who lived there.
Yeah.
Or they were bailiffs who come along and they could put a bucket in swim, not fish it for 6 days.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. They could just put the bucket there. So you had loads of things going on. It was a steep learning curve. Learned so much about floater fishing.
Yeah.
I learned 99% of what I know now about floater fishing from watching and talking to the likes of Jim Shelley, Nick Elliott, Sharpie, Herney.
Yeah.
Of what they do. They're all different how they fish, floater fish.
Of course.
But you take all these bits from it and it's like, that's why you catch them.
Yeah, of course.
Thinking outside the box, using little bits of foam instead of hook baits. And, you know, getting silly things like something which you wouldn't even think about doing. Your hook link. Boiling hot days, you're floater fishing.
Yeah.
Sweat, put it up your hook link. Makes your hook link float.
Yeah.
Don't need, mate, you get a bite. I've proved it loads of times. Gone fishing, can't get a bite, they're seeing it. So, right, yeah. Oh, got one.
Yeah.
Something like using your own sweat.
Yeah, those finer little percentages can make a massive difference, mate, don't they?
Using little 14 and 18 size hooks for floater fishing. With little bits of, you know, the punch. You know,
like bread punch things.
Bread punch, but with foam. So you just be able to do with normal bottom baits, get the punch, I think Fox used to do it, get the punch, put the yellow or the blue or the black or whatever in there, make it be a wafter.
Yeah.
So they used to be like little 6mm things, didn't they? You get one at 6mm, one at 10mm. Get a brown one, 10mm, get a yellow one at 6mm, glue the 6mm on top of the brown one, put it on a size 18 hook. You've got a sight at 40, 50 yards, and it's like a little disc on top.
Yeah.
You feed little riser pellets, say.
Yeah.
Everyone's using great big
mixers.
Chum mixers. Yeah. You're using that little bit of foam. Boom.
Boom. Yeah.
Little things. I learned that from all them guys.
Yeah.
You know, before then, I wouldn't even know what float fishing was.
No, but that's,
Also, spotting, having 3 rods on one spot, I learned that from Horton.
Yeah.
That, you know, you will, if you're not constantly learning, every lake I've ever fished, I've never gone, since having that thing with the stockbroker and that, I've never got onto and thought, I'm the one on here, I'm going to smash it.
Yeah,
I've got on there going, I want to do my own thing, I'm going to stay back, I'm going to watch, look at where the fish are. They're the best things you've got in your world, your ears and your eyes.
Yeah.
You don't need anything else. No super hooks, super bait, super rigs. That's all you need is your ears and your eyes. The fish will tell you where they are.
That sounds it just sounds amazing. Obviously, like learning, but also just being in that environment with those other anglers as well. Are there any occasions where you've felt intimidated, or you've been playing a fish and then like they're all watching?
Horton, it was like...
Because Horton, like...
It was difficult to get a bite.
Yeah.
Because they're full-timers.
Yeah.
And I was shift work.
Yeah.
So when I did get a bite, it was, oh my God, let's hope it's in the dark so no one can see me in case I lose one.
Let's hope it's in the dark.
No, in the dark, please.
Do you remember your first fish on there?
First fish was the wood carving.
Oh, yeah, of course you said that. Yeah,
unbelievable. Blew me away. A little corner, literally, as Ollie would say, half a wrap.
Yeah. On a big old 30, 40 mil bottom
50 mil bottom bait, 6-inch hook link with size 6 hook, tight to the bait. No hair, tight to the bait. And you just think, why did I do that?
Outside the box, mate. It's worked for you there, hasn't it?
Crazy. But also, you had some really good angles on it, like Picky and... I remember Daryl coming over as well. Daryl fished it. Pecky was fishing, did a 1 night or 2 nights, and they went, don't like this, and went.
Oh, really?
But he did catch one. That's what Daryl does.
Yeah, of course.
But you could not fail to learn on there. Every lake I've been to, I've learned something from someone. Worst thing you can do, no matter how good an angler you are, or think how good an angler you are, there's always something you can learn from every lake you've ever fished.
Yeah. I mean, open mind is the most important thing, I think.
Even something like changing from a white pop-up to a yellow one. Something you wouldn't even think about. No, white's my colour. Everyone starts catching on yellow. And then you can take that to another lake you're going to. Because you're keeping your eyes open, everyone's using bottom baits, pop-ups, or vice versa.
I'm 100% with you, mate. I'm very fortunate in previous work being able to go out with different anglers and take in different aspects, but it is one of those things where some people, you still see it, it's not being closed-minded, but they've caught a certain way, so everything is the same and they'll keep it that way.
One-trick ponies.
Well, maybe they've got other tricks in the locker, but you know what I'm saying? Whereas to gamble is a big call sometimes. You've got free rods, but it is a big call. But you learn so much more by trying than you do just doing the same time and time out.
You learn so much more from watching them as well. I fished a lake in Essex, near Brentwood. Some absolutely stunning old fishing there. And I remember it was time of the chods and things like that. There's some lovely fishing there. Absolutely upper 40 common in there. Oof. Loads of old English, absolute crackers. Yeah. And there was this tree and a little, very weedy, and there was a little spot about as big as this, like that, sand. 4 foot deep, great big tree went over it. I just climb on the tree. Yeah. Get my rod underneath there. Choddy on there. Lovely, I'm going to have them. Watch the fish come in. Drop down. What just happened? Sucked in the chod, blew it out. Yeah. That's a chod.
You're nailed.
You're nailed. No. Right, well, I'm going to think a bit outside the box. Another rig. Like a normal pop-up rig on a bit of braid.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Right, bottom bait rig. Short, 3 inches. Oh, my God. Took me about 7 different rigs, so I got it, and then I caught 7.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't seen that, I could have gone all year blanking.
It's true.
Not knowing how they were, that
because that's happening in the edge, but out in the pond, that's happening.
Of course it is.
And
it's no different.
You wouldn't want to see it.
It's no different. How many times, it must happen all the time. I mean, you look at the Calder underwater videos all them years ago, sucking and blowing, and change the rig, still doing the same thing, whacking it with a tail, single bleep, picked it up, dropped it. You don't know what it is.
You can't speed up the process of actually being there, observing them, and just time on the bank for learning.
But I mean, the best anglers I've ever met are the ones that swap and change and move swim, or I'm going to try that in this week. Because I see a couple at 2:00 in the morning, or I'm going to shorten the hook link, or but they do it not even knowing they're doing it a lot of the time. It just becomes second nature.
Yeah, of course.
I've fished on lakes with some really good anglers, and it's just. There's a reason why they're good anglers. It's because they're just, one, they're naturally good, but two, they take in everything and they work it all out from what they see and what they do, and they're hunters. It's simple as that.
They're in tune with it all, and as you say, that change is almost instinctive, isn't it? I think the biggest thing for me was casting. I remember in my sort of early days, I used to just chuck out your standard sort of once or twice in the course of a session and leave it. but especially in more recent times, I've chucked loads. If you like, what people would think it's a lot, and it's caught me extra fish, definitely, because I've changed. Different colour pop-up, different time of the day. It's a massive,
I can be a bit of a bait and weight wanker. Okay.
Nice. I like the definition. That's a soundbite. We'll get that on there.
Right, that's what. Yeah. Bait and weight wanker, I call them. Right. I can, if I'm confident in what I'm doing, I can leave it out there 40 hours.
Oh yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
But if the fish are there or signed or whatever, I can leave it out there. Not a problem. I can sit on my hands, and a lot of times I've had some really good fish that way because they're not used to. It's just a different tactic.
Yeah.
But recasting, turning up, single up bait. I've caught loads of big fish on singles.
Yeah.
No bait around it at all.
Yeah.
A lot of my mates say like, we didn't put no bait. It's just a single. Oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't cast out a single. Oh no, it's fried my head.
Yeah.
You know, they can't cast out a single bait.
Yeah.
And I've caught some massive fish on there. My English PB, 57 pound 3 ounce common, single up bait. In February, single up bait.
Really?
Crazy.
Talk us through that.
Crazy.
Welly?
On Welly. Wellington Country Park. It's a really good story to this. As again, there's some absolute mega good anglers on Welly.
Oh, yeah.
It always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
I was doing a winter on there, and the fish just, nothing had happened for about 4 or 5 weeks.
I was going to say, it doesn't really have fantastic winter form, does it?
Oh, it's my favourite time on there.
Is it?
Because there's not that many people there, and they are catchable.
Right.
Little windows of opportunity.
Yeah.
They are catchable. And there's some, much better anglers than I am on there. Definitely. There's some real good who fished all over the country and caught everything 3 times. Yeah. And so I'm on a 3-day session on there. Got to 2 days, not seeing a dicky bird. -4 degrees.
Yeah.
Begin at mid-February. Light levels are just starting to change. Nothing. I've packed all my gear up, pushing my barrow around to the hole in it. I've got to go past there.
Yeah.
Before I go home. Could do 3 nights, but I'm going home. It's
Nothing.
cold, wet, horrible.
Yeah.
Dead so. The guy who's doing a day turns up. Pilot, we call him. He's a BA pilot.
Okay.
Fishing there. He's fishing out long, 150 yards. I don't fish over 90 yards ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I couldn't cast 100 yards if I tried. He's out there. He's, see you later, mate. I'm going to go. Boom, 1 shows. He says, I've got to reel and go home now. I went, recast it out there. What do you think I should do? Get it out there. Yeah. Cast it out there, catch one straight away. Oh, £43 or 28 or whatever it was. I thought, I'm staying tonight.
Yeah.
1 showed, I'm staying. So, another really good guy, who's a top angler. He's turned up at the same time as I'm there with my gear, and I said, look, do you want to go in here? I've got choice if I want to go. And I said, you want to go in there? I said, this feeling, open water is where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
He's got in there. I've got in the open water. Picked out 3 singles. Got my dog then as well. The old Carp dog.
Oh, yeah.
The old pork chop.
Got
him. He's seen some sights, he has, I tell you. He's seen some fish, that boy.
Bet, yeah.
Even though he's passed away now.
Yeah.
But pinged out his 3 singles. Freezing cold. Nothing happening all night. Single bleep in the morning. Single bleep. Zip down, bang, I'm out. What's happening like that? Single bleep. For some reason, I've hit it.
What was the bobbin doing? Was the bobbin just
went,
that was
it,
just
fishing
held?
tight lines.
Right, okay.
But just holding there. Line's quivering a little bit.
No, yeah.
It's one of them, 50-50. Is it a bite? Is it not? But when it's freezing cold, 6 degrees water temperature, whatever it was. So, playing this fish. Oh, my God, I've got one. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
So I'm playing it in, playing it like this, got it in. And in my mind, I'm after this one fish. Hasn't been out for 18 months, this fish. Well, 18 months, 2 years. Everyone thought he's dead. It's after they had a bit of a fish kill. I thought, this common's dead. Chestnut common, it's called.
Yeah.
This fish is dead. I'm going, no, it's not. I'm sure it hasn't floated up.
No one's seen it.
Still there. I've got this feeling. It's the one I want, It's got this feeling. It's still there. So I'm playing this fish, got it in, and it's it, isn't it? It's like, oh, my God, got it. The dog's in there licking it and biting the net and all that. Got some absolute...
Was it a typical big common, like mega scrap, or was it
mega scrap in the cold and that all over the place? Netted it, but then that fish didn't come out again for another 18 months after that.
Yeah, wow.
You know, so it's been out once in 3 or 4 years.
Classic wary
And
big
it's
common,
like,
mate.
wow.
Yeah.
And it is like, it's just the one, you know. It's
What
just
sort
like,
of presentation were you on for your singles?
that was a single, white. It might have been white or pink. I'm not sure. I like white and pink in the winter on a multi-rig.
Yeah.
Just cast out, bit of foam, cast out. I don't use a microfloat. I haven't used a microfloat for about 10, 15 years. I just cast. That feels all right. I'll leave it. It's done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All on the drop?
All on the drop. Wherever it... I know the spot I want to fish from the drop.
Yeah?
Even on mono, I can just tell straight away. Boom, how deep it is. Boom, that's hard. I know.
Really?
I don't really do clipping up. I don't really do
Wrapping.
I do once if I'm on a lake for a while, because I want to go ting, ting, ting.
Yeah, quick.
Like that.
Yeah.
But when I'm just sort of turn up, I see a fish out there, roughly know that's the area, but that do. Yeah, leave it.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of good anglers I know, that's how they fish.
Yeah?
They don't use a mark float. And it's only because I've learnt that from others. Turn up, ping, 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 seen fish show, ping, 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 or waving one rod, boom.
Yeah.
Done.
So if you turn up to a new venue, you've never fished it before, and you've not got a marker float, you're feeding for drops, would you put out 3 rods with 3 different drops? Or would you put out, always look for firm?
I always like I want bang on the hard.
Okay.
I like the hard. Or I'll take you through the process of how I find a spot.
Yeah, go, yeah.
I cast out with a bare lead.
Yeah.
Bare lead.
This is on your rod, not on a marker.
No, this is on my rod. This is if I'm just turning up to a new lake. I haven't seen any fish. I've got nothing to go on.
Yeah.
But I like the wind's blowing in this particular swim, wherever it is. A question I get asked lots of time: how do you know what spot on a new lake? How do I know? This is what I would do, mate. You know, this is what I do.
Yeah, totally.
So, boom, cast out the rod, fill it down. It's soft. Oh, that's a bit harder. That's a bit nice. A bit more of a drop. The other one was a bit shallower. It's a bit of a deeper. Felt a bit like a silt. Pull it back. It's a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty clean. Bring it in. Obviously, clip it up.
Yeah.
Out again. Yep. Twice. Tie an old rig on.
Yeah.
No boiling, no nothing. Bang at the same spot. It may feel all right without a rig on.
Yeah.
But so you put a rig on. Like that. Out again. Pull it back. Oh, that's the one. Boom. That's the spot. Maybe wrap it up. Put it in my book. Put it in my phone.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. That's the spot I'd fish to.
Nice.
Simple. That's simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you just use what the lake's telling you.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it this way, you put out a mark float, you can never get on that same spot. There's a marker's on it. The marker's on that spot.
Yeah.
So how can you fish the spot you're marking up? You can't.
Yeah, yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You may get a foot to
Yeah,
the right,
a foot or 2.
6 inch away. You're not on the spot.
No.
So how do you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
So
Completely.
when you cast out, you go, oh, that's the one. There's nothing like getting that drop and that landing how you want it to be.
Yeah.
That's so good confidence. Putting the bobbin on, going, that's a bite.
Yeah.
Spraying it or spotting it, or that's a bite.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Nice. I like that, mate. Yeah, good. I do like that. We're gonna go back a bit more. We were talking about Horton.
Yep.
Yeah. We've done our Horton days. How do things progress from there? You've had a massive change in lifestyle. You now got 4 days on, 4 days off.
Yep.
Your BP boats at the Thames?
Up the Thames, yeah. Briggs, the company was called Briggs, but they were contracted to BP to bring up, I mean, these massive oil tankers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you'd never, like, I remember once being, and you're out in this little boat, it's not even as big as this room.
Really?
There's 4 of you on it, pulling in the ropes, putting them to the surface,
Yeah, that
pulling them
sounds
up.
scary, mate.
Crazy shit. And the tugs are pushing in the boat, and you're in between the side and the boat.
That
You've
sounds
got
like
to
a
get
death
out,
wish,
tie them
mate.
up. Oh, but crazy. Mate, there's been boats going up in the air, these little boats
I
and
bet.
everything. Absolute madness. In the 3 o'clock in the morning, horizontal snow, all that sort of going on.
Oof, yeah.
But these, I remember once standing on the end of the jetty going, oh, this boat's a long time, isn't it? I could see the other side. I could see Kent, because this was all at Corringham.
Right.
So not far from here, where BP was.
Yeah.
I don't think it's there anymore. So you're out on the jetty, you're looking out and you think, well, that's Kent over there. I can see all the lights.
Yeah.
Where's the boat? Where's this big oil tanker coming up? Can't see, pitch black, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then suddenly Kent starts moving. And it's the boat, isn't it? It's that big.
God.
You've never seen anything like it. The size of these boats,
That's
they are
frightening,
absolutely monstrous.
Yeah.
You've it's like, to see, you have to physically look straight up to see the top of it. You can't look like that. You've got to look.
And you're in a little
boat. Honestly, the boat is as big as this room, half the size of this room.
Yeah.
And what they do is they lower down the ropes. You take it from the boat to the jetty to your workmates. They pull it up, winch them in, push the tugs. Put 3 or 4 tugs are pushing in the boat.
Yeah.
So you've got to do that before they push it in, or pull it off. And then you've got the tide going on. You've got the weather. You've got everything. So it's a couple of times. It's like you're just getting out in time.
Gonna say, yeah.
You've got a boat either end doing this. You have to tie the knots really quickly to bang them up. There's a lot going on. So it's pretty scary stuff.
Yeah,
but good.
Yeah,
but giving you a buzz.
That is a life change. Well, lifestyle change, massively.
Crazy
mate.
From that to that.
Yeah,
it's like
that's completely different world.
It's completely crazy.
So Horton, what made you move on, or were you always gonna move on? Or
I really wanted to catch a fish called shoulders in there.
Yeah.
I caught most of the others.
Yeah,
relatively. But then that one passed away.
Okay,
that one died. So I thought,
time to move somewhere else. I've been on there 3 or 4 years, I think. Really enjoyed it, really liked it. Caught most of the fish out of there. Thought, I can't move on. I get bored very easily. 3 or 4 years is about twice as much as I normally spend on a lake. Normally 1, 2 years. Even if I don't catch them, I get bored. Just look at the same thing, doing the same thing all the time. I've fished so many different lakes over the years, and I normally have 2 or 3 different tickets going on at the same time, which can go against me. I was going to say, that's hard, isn't it?
Well, put it this way, I had Wellington Country Park, Wingham, and I had what's the one down in Berkshire? I've forgotten the name of it now. 2 lakes, White Swan, Black Swan.
Oh, Dinton.
So I had all them 3 at the same time.
Yeah, okay, wow.
All 3 tickets.
Yeah, that is.
So hang on a minute. So I go one place, or I go there, or because I get bored really easy. My mind's just the way it works.
Were you catching fish from all those places?
Wingham, yes.
Yeah.
Wellington Country, yes. Yeah. I've never had a bite out of
Dinton
yet. I fished it 3 or 4 times, but I've had a ticket for a good few years. Just haven't fished it.
And what makes you pick those tickets? I mean, Dinton's got some incredible fish in it.
You've got White Swan and Black Swan. I've got a coverall for both of them.
Yeah.
I fished White Swan a couple of times, and if I was 20 years younger, it'd be my thing. I'd be on it. I'd be on there running around like a lunatic, you know, climbing up trees and doing whatever I do.
Yeah.
Not for me, unfortunately. Some absolute bangers in there.
Oh, yeah.
And Black Swan's more my type of water. Yeah. Bit more open. Few older people on there, been there, done it. Some really good proper anglers on there. Not saying that White Swan hasn't, because it has.
Yeah,
they're a lot younger. They're a lot more go and competitive, and you're casting my swim, and I like a bit of space now.
Yeah.
Dinton Black Swan. It's like, I think it's possibly got probably at the end of this coming season, probably 4 or 5 50.
Yeah.
Some of them are linears.
Yeah, those linears are incredible.
Big common in there, it could be 50 as well.
There's a lot of beautiful fish in there.
Unbelievable. I've lost 2 fish. I've had a bite and I've lost 2 fish out there. First 2 bites out there, lost them both, which is like, but once every 10 years I lose a fish. So I use big hooks, 4s all the time.
Yeah.
Strong tackle. Don't change anything for anything. It's always that.
What's go-to then? What's go-to?
Depends. I could have 3 different rigs on 3 different spots. It just all depends on that, what that drop is, what it is, what it feels like. Is there weed around it? As a general rule, weedier lake, I like to fish pop-ups. I want it up. There's a lot of food items are in the weed, they're up.
What's your pop-up, a multi still, or have you...
Depends. I like multi-rigs. I like hinge stiffies a lot. And I like 360 rigs. So I've got 3 sort of go-to pop-up rigs. One's a low line.
Yeah.
Multi-rig is more of a softer boom, and the hinge stiffy is more of a stiff boom.
Yeah.
Just depends. I use all 3.
Yeah.
Every year I'll be using one of those 3 as my pop-up rigs. Bottom baits, I like bottom baits. I use a D-rig, short D-rig.
Yeah.
Or I use something called a slip D multi-rig.
Okay, yeah.
Which uses lead-free booms. It's very supple but very heavy.
Yeah.
It's probably the easiest rig I've ever tied. Loop in one end, loop in the other, thread the loop through the hook, put it over, bit of silicone, that's it. That's your rig.
Yeah.
It's not even, there's no knots.
Yeah.
But a big hook
loops.
in the end.
But a common feature is strong, big hooks.
Strong, big hooks. I'm not one. I look at size 8. Okay. That's not for me. Size 4. I used to be size 6s. Last 10 years, I can't remember even using a hook smaller than a size 4. 2s, size 4. 2s in Europe, size 4. But floater fishing, 10s, 8s, 12s.
Down.
Not even 8s. 8s is too big for float fishing. 10s, 12s, 14s.
Yeah. Much zigging?
Yes, now and again. I don't know what it is. I love zigging.
Yeah.
And I can really fish zigs really well. Essex Manor, again, I learnt how to zig fish on there.
Yeah.
I remember looking at a guy fishing zigs who actually invented the Fox zig flow and all that.
Oh, yeah.
He runs, he runs a lake up here now as well. Can't remember his name. It's gone from my head. But he'd fished 3 zigs out there. No one had done it. No one had sort of even heard about zigs. He fished 3 zigs out there. And I think he had something like 11 fish one day.
Yeah, mad.
Right, he's onto something, this guy. But putting 3 bits of black foam or 3 bits of cut down boilie on a 10-foot retractable up and down, I just couldn't get my head around it.
Yeah.
Could not get my head around it. Tied a few up, passed them out, brought them in again. No, go back to bottom baits. Next trip, he's had 5. I must try these. No, bring them in again. Right, I'm going to really try it this time. Stuck them out, all 3, 3 foot, 2 foot, 4 foot below the surface. Right, sitting on my hands and knees. 20 minutes went past, half an hour. I've got to reel him in. I can't. Confidence. Went to pick it up. Beep, that one. Beep, 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 like that. 39-pounder, first fish on the zig. And it's like.
Where from? The Essex Manor?
From the Essex Manor. Ash Bradbury was the guy. He taught me how to zig fish properly.
My life.
He invented the Fox zig float.
Did he?
Floats. Really, really good angler. Especially zig fishing as well, and bottom bait fishing.
Your first zig caught fish was a 39-pounder.
39-pounder.
Wow.
39-pounder. And I was just about to pick it up.
Yeah.
Never fish zigs ever again. If that hadn't gone, I'd never be fishing zigs ever again.
You don't think you'd have gone back to them?
No, just the confidence thing. I kept putting them out, bringing them in.
It's a leap of faith, isn't it?
And it is a proper leap of faith. It's just like anything, isn't it? You get confident in a way of thinking. That's like using. It took me years of using plastic baits. I can't get that fish is going to pick up this bit of plastic in the middle of nowhere on its own. Couldn't get my head around it. Frank White was saying me get them plastic baits on. What? Just like that. Put some flavour in them. Well, okay. Oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, no. It's not. I want baits. I want normal boilies.
Food.
Well, even pop-ups were alien at one point to me. It's like, I've got to have bottom. It took me a while, and then, bloody hell, they love plastic.
Yeah.
They love anything, really.
Yeah.
It's all about, there is no super rig, there is no super bait. It's all about your confidence in what you're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Doesn't matter how you're fishing, what fish in a lake, floater fishing, bottom bait fishing, lure fishing, shark fishing. If you're confident in your approach, you'll catch everything.
Yeah.
Confidence is everything. It's like...
Yeah, it is.
This is why I look at it. You look at a Premier League footballer, 20 goals, 30 goals that year. Then he has 5 goals that year. No goals that year. He doesn't automatically become a shit player.
No.
Just got no confidence in front of goal. He's no worse a player than he was, just hasn't got the confidence. As soon as he gets the confidence back, he's on another 20, 30 goals a year. So he doesn't automatically become a shit player or a terrible player.
No.
It's just confidence has blown, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Fishing is all about confidence.
Yeah, totally. I've been in both situations where you've put your odds out and you think, right, I could wait here indefinitely. I'm confident they're on the spots. The fish are there and they're feeding. I'll have them. And I've been the opposite and been like, oh, mate, I'm not going to catch it.
But your gut tells you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Loads of times now, the older I've got is, and it may sound a real strange thing, but I know when I'm going to catch. And I know when I'm not going to catch. Very rarely does it deviate from that, where out of the blue you have one, you think, that was out of the blue, that was. Yeah. Occasionally, but most of the time you think, I'm bang on for one here.
Yeah.
Or, I should go home really, but you stay.
Yeah.
Because it's just what you do, isn't it?
One more night, it'll change.
It'll change, it'll be different more. I might have a chance of getting that one I want.
Yeah.
But you know, your gut's telling you, always go with your gut. It's like, nah, you're blanking again tonight.
Yeah. So looking back, as I said before, you left Horton, shoulders passed away.
Yep.
Where was the next destination?
The Manor in Essex, which was another baptism of fire. Some some crazy characters on there, that's for certain. Yeah. And I actually became a bailiff on there eventually because my parents had lived within 2 miles of the manor for most of their lives, and I'd never even contemplated going and getting a ticket.
Really?
So it was 2 miles from my house when I'd moved to Essex. There's some absolute... I caught my first 40-pounder from there.
Wow.
Which was the big un, which was the amphibian.
Yeah.
Which was 48.5 pound, my first 40.
That's massive.
It was crazy.
That's not a scraper 40, is it?
No, it's not. I didn't start it by having a scraper. It was like a monster.
So that was your first bite at the manor?
No, it wasn't my first bite, but it was my first 40-pounder.
Right, so talk us through your development on that. You talked about the Zig revelation.
Yes.
But in terms of the fishing on there, how were things sort of back then?
It was very much, and I think it's very much the same now. It was always a bait water. So people would turn up and they'd sort of freight in 10 kilos straight away on one spot.
Whoa, yeah.
And then go off home. And then someone else would turn up, same spot, freight another 10 kilo into it.
Yeah.
So it was very much bait orientated. Is why they got massive in there. You know, I think at the time, there was something like 15 40s in there, something like that.
Yeah, mega.
You know, and obviously that big one went, the amphibian went £50, £60, I think, scraper. 60, I think.
Did it do a 60?
I think it did.
Wow.
Did it? I think even Basie might have called it £60. Oof. I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah. He's one to get on the pod. I'll ask him.
Yeah, I'm sure he had it at £60.
No, he's had 2 tons of 60.
Yeah, I think he was the only person who's had 2 60s.
Yeah.
I think, from memory. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, that was a baptism of fire as well. Some absolute crazy parties over there. Big social scene.
Really?
Oh, man, there was some crazy people on there. There really was then when I was fishing there.
What's crazy here? Define crazy to me. We've gone through the puff generation.
Well,
mate.
this was the ecstasy generation.
Was it?
There was 2 or 3 guys over there who were not the best anglers in the world.
No,
but they thought they was, and they liked to take an ecstasy tablet quite a lot, or an acid tablet. And many a time I'd look up at 11 o'clock at night when it was dark and look up the other end, and there'd be 3 vans parked up and 3 of them would be on the roofs raving with music blaring out.
No way.
Yeah, it'd be things like that. The things that went on over there, it's just the social side of it, and just things like, I remember one day getting out of my bivvy or wherever it was, and this horse come running past and destroyed the bivvy and everyone else's bivvy and was running around like a lunatic. What? Escaped. You know, it was...
What's happened there? Is matey boy giving him an ecstasy tablet and let him loose?
I reckon so. I mean, also, I don't know, it was just a crazy place to fish.
Wow, welcome to Essex.
It was some proper characters. You had 3 bailiffs on there at the time. There was me, which was called Nasty Bailiff. There was another bailiff called Thick Bailiff, and then there was Nice Bailiff.
No.
Okay. There was Thick Stupid Bailiff. There was Nasty Bailiff me, because I didn't stand for this shit.
Yeah.
And there was
that must have been pretty tasty then, mate. There must have been some confrontations. If you're bailiff in a place and you've got
there was
lads on ecstasy on top of their roofs in the car park.
Well, it was sort of accepted.
Was it? Just crack on, lads.
Crack on. I wasn't a bailiff then.
All right.
But even then I would have, I don't know, it was just a dumb thing over there. There was a little crew of people who just took over the place, and they was just thought they were gangsters, you know, as well. So it was fun times, crazy times, lots of big fish being caught, good times, the takeaways and food, and it was just another load of different characters on another crazy lake in Essex. Madness.
I mean, I'm just thinking nowadays. I mean, I've had some decent socials and some decent fisheries, but never sort of...
It was madness.
You just couldn't get away with it.
You'd guarantee, because it was just a bit... The guy who ran it, he was a fireman, and he owned a shop in Hornchurch.
Right.
Angling shop there. I never see him over the lake, ever. He never came over the lake. You had the bailiff in it. Most of them weren't there at the time as well. But, yeah, those guys, they used to get told off and that, but... Next Friday, woo, woo, whoop, whoop, and all that on top of it. Not every weekend, but
there is
something
that,
would be happening, you know?
There is that, I don't know, it must be generational. It might just be me being a sheltered little hermit, but there's that generational thing of sort of the whole drinking, drugs,
Yeah.
you've got weed, you've got your LSD, all that sort of phase and generation of anglers that were like on it was part of the scene.
It was part of the scene. I can remember, and my kids probably won't like me for this, but I remember going raving for the weekend. I remember going to Darrenth when I was young, set my gear up to swim, then the phone would ring. When we had phones, right? Phone would ring. Where are we going tonight? Well, I'm fishing. Well, we go, okay, well, I'm coming. I'd leave the rods, not out, just all my gear and swim. 2 days later, I'd turn back up to the rods.
What, they're still there?
Still there. I'd be out raving all weekend. You know, I'd just go missing in the middle of London or somewhere. After going, no, I'm not going out this weekend. I'm going fishing. Go down to the lake, phone would ring. Somebody come over. Right, we're going here. We go, oh, okay then. And it was just a crazy scene, you know. It really. But that was, you know, and then there was like a lot of people puffed and that, and I can't lie, I used to puff a beer. I don't smoke now, I don't drink, I haven't done for many years. But back then it was the way it was.
Exactly.
You know, just the way it was.
Yeah, crazy. But fun, as you said.
Oh, it was proper fun.
Yeah.
Proper fun, proper crazy, fun. And when you think about it, the best of times.
Yeah.
You know, it weren't too serious.
No.
Now it's very serious. You know, when I go fishing now, I go fishing because I want to get away from life. I want to go and do my own thing. I don't really want to be near anyone else. I'm getting an old bastard. That's what it is. You know?
No, it's different. That's the beauty of fishing. It's different.
Then it was like, right, we'd set up, we'd go down the local pub, which was across from Darrenth. All of us, we'd be all in there from all the lakes in the area, getting absolutely rat-arsed. Half the time, your rods would still be out.
Yeah, of course.
Crazy, but it was good times, good friends, and some funny things have gone on, like walking along back to the lake, and then suddenly your mate just disappears where we didn't realise there was a 12-foot hole that had been dug earlier on, and he just go like that, his legs would go away, and he'd just disappear, you know.
Days, mate.
Or falling in the lake, and you think, lucky no one died.
That's what I mean, yeah.
You know, there's some really pissed people there, you know, doing donuts in the car park at 2 a.m. And
madness.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture it now at Linear, mate. Wouldn't happen, would it? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, but it was just the way it was.
Yeah,
everyone
used
to be shit-faced or, you know, go over there and have a big cook-up. Everyone used to get together and have a cook-up and a fry-up in the morning. We'd have breakfast together. And
was it the same with captures? Because nowadays I'm thinking...
Captures would be celebrated by everybody.
Yeah.
If someone caught one, it was a celebrate. It was a proper, like, he caught one. Wow.
What sort of celebration? Like a big old social?
Yeah, we'd get a takeaway, or we'd get, right, we're going to fry this up. We have a little bit of, you know, well done, you know, good on your fish, and here's the pictures. And it was all, you know, right, can you take it down to Kodak's to get it processed and bring it back next week for me? But you never see your pictures for a week, 2 weeks afterwards. Then you get it, and they want to come round, look at, oh, it looked good, didn't it? You know, it used to be puff, have food, have a little beer. It's very, very big social thing at Darrenth. All them when I was younger, that it really was. Yateley was the same.
Trying to think, there's a few syndicates that I've fished on where there was it's not a rule, but there was an unwritten rule that if one of the 18 came out, whatever you were doing, if it was bite time or not, you wound your rods and you went round and you saw it because it's like, oh, that's so and so, or that's that fish, or do you know what I mean? And that was, I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think a lot of it, there's a lot of what I see now is that you'll get, I don't know if it's the competitiveness or the jealousy or just the way life is, the way social media's made people, is that it's no, I don't want to go and see that. No.
It's a bit of green-eyed monster, isn't there?
A bit of green-eyed monster, definitely. But what I always do, if I'm after a target fish and someone else catches it, one, I want to touch it. I always got to touch it. Say, right, next time, you're mine.
Yeah.
I have to touch it. So a little bit of a thing I got.
Right.
I have to touch it. You know, touch the fish, give it a little tap. Go and help the guy, take the photos, all this sort of, and I have to touch it, have a little chat to it, you know, which is a bit freaky, isn't it? I have to have a little chat.
Fish. As long as it works, mate.
Doing, and have a look at its mouth. Check it out. You might think it's got a bit of an underslung mouth there. Just check it out. And also, when is the best time to ask the person who's caught it how they caught it? They're buzzing. They're on cloud 9. They're more or less going. They'll tell you anything.
Yeah.
They'll tell you your bank account number if you ask them enough times. But you find it so much. That's just I want to touch it. I want to find out how he caught it. Well, your right-hand rod, 40 yards, just in front of the island. Lovely spot there I found the other week. Oh, thank you. Right, lay it down.
It's all information, isn't it?
All info. And that's, no one is the dog's bollocks at fishing. Some people got natural talent. I mean, Herney is a fish, isn't he? Basically, he's a carp.
Yeah.
He's a one-off. But you learn from everything else. Yeah. Anyone who thinks they're not going to learn from no one else, you're a fool.
Yeah.
Because
you can't be
everything I've learned, I'm not the best angler in the world. I know how to catch them, but it's like the zig fishing, it's like the bit fishing, it's like the plastic corn, it's like the boil, it's like the glugs, it's like the ingredient. It's all from someone else.
Yeah. Totally.
The 50 millers from someone else.
Totally.
But it's just having the nuts to go, right, I'm going to use that 50 miller. Yeah. Have the confidence to do it. That's all fishing is confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And learning confidence. That's why I think the way my brain works, why I like fishing, always changing, you're always learning, you're always doing something else, always new ventures, always new what's it to do.
Yeah.
Like golf. Gives me the ump because I'm no good at it. Right? I've played golf at the Australian Open. I've played golf at loads of places. Fuck me, I'm the worst person in the world. If I hit that ball 25 times, it'd go 25 different directions.
Golf is hard.
And it gives me the ump.
Yeah.
Something gives me the ump, no good at it.
Give it a miss.
Give that one a miss. I want to be good at something.
Yeah. Yeah, golf is frustrating, mate.
Why put myself through that? Why do it? Why put yourself through you can hit something exactly the same way as you hit it before, you think.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, look at that shot, that's lovely. Hit it again, I'm the dog's nut. Well, where'd that go?
Yeah.
You got to drop it for 3.
I've lost my ball.
Oh, mate, I'd lose my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do it. Unless I'm good at something. Unless I can get better at something. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I can't. Otherwise, I just want to burn it all down.
Yeah. Smash it with your clubs.
I want to smash it. I'll lose the plot.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm never going to be any good at this, but I'm still putting myself through it. It's like painful.
Yeah. That's
torture.
It's probably why we're anglers, mate, not golfers. So the Essex Manor, mate.
Yeah.
Would you say? You said there it was a bait water. Did you approach it in that way?
It's a bait water. It's probably always used to be a very boring place to fish because it's just one rod to the right. It's a big bowl down to 25, 26 foot. It's a big bowl. Basically, you've got shelves that go down like that, and reeds all the way around. So, bang, you fish with one rod to the right, one rod to the left, one rod to the middle. Every swim is exactly the same. There's not a lot of difference. Maybe the odd little hump here, but it's like 10 foot, 26 foot.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Fish are swimming around, crashed like mad. It's the only, it's one of the places I've found where as soon as it gets dark, it seemed like there's about 5 million fish in there. One after the other. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Nothing gets caught at night, though. It's like they're on naturals or something. Occasionally they get caught at night, but out of all the fish I caught out there, I count on one hand the amount of caught at night time. There's all daytime bites, all daytime. First in the morning, up to last thing before it gets dark.
Wow.
Really strange.
Really?
Hardly, it might have changed now, but at the time, that's why everyone partied.
Yeah.
Night time during the day.
No bites here, boys.
No bites during the day. You was camping.
Yeah. Wow.
Strange.
And in terms of results on there, did you catch them pretty quickly or did it take a bit of time?
It took a little bit of time to work out what the fish were doing. Basically, they'd be going around all the time, to find out the areas and, the areas are the same. Everyone went in the same swim, sort of, you just have to follow them around. You'd have to get in front of them, fish bottom baits when everyone else is fishing pop-ups,
Was it a case of did you have to preempt where they were going or could you cast to them? As in, if you saw them, if you dropped one on their head,
you could do, but it's very busy. There's very many occasions when every swim wasn't taken.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a rat race, typical circuit water.
Yeah.
But when I caught that amphibian, it was no one was really fishing it because they thought the fish had gone down from £40 down to £27, been tethered up. So everyone had given up their tickets and not bothered and that. And I got the nod that actually, it's been out £44 this year. Right, I'm having a ticket, or managed to get a ticket. And then I was the next person to catch it, £48.5. Then it went to over 50.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I caught that fish. I caught that on a 6-inch hook link, little bit of maize, little hook, inline lead. I remember walking round. I was fishing one swim, parted the reeds. I saw a little bit of a tail go past. I thought, oh, just lowered it onto the spot. After boilie fishing all the time, trying to catch it, catching loads of others, but not that one. Put it down there, handful. Put the rod in between the reeds again and walked up the bank. Thinking, I want to go down and have a look. So I could see the spot. It's in like 3-4 foot of water. Yeah. I could see my rig, everything. Just see a tail go away. I thought, I might get a bite. I leave it. Going down, have a look. I was peered over the reeds like this at one point, and it's like, oh my God, that's a monster. Beep. And it just took it. And I was playing it on braid. On braid. I was playing it. And when I got it in, I've got it framed now. I've got the actual rig framed, and it is almost straight like a pin.
Really?
And I don't know how I got it in. It was just destiny to catch it.
Your name's on it.
My name was on it. It was like that. The hook was like that, and I still managed to get it in on braid.
Just a single grain of maize, yeah?
I think I put a couple of bits of maize around it, but it was just, and its shoulders must have been out of the water. It was that shallow in amongst the reeds. Mad. But it's just one of them opportunist things where you think, was that a tail I saw? Was that a fish that went past? Right, boom, I'm going to put that in. I'll give it a go. I'll try.
Result.
You know, and it went, and it was that fish.
That's cool.
After hunting it around the lake, putting loads of bait in and fishing how everyone else is fishing, just that little bit of difference in the edge where no one fished, right in the edge in 3-4 foot of water, well, 2.5, 3 foot.
Mad, isn't
There's
it?
a bite, yeah. There's some absolute cracking fish in there still, I think.
Yeah, there's still
lovely, some just nice ones. It's an entertaining place to fish, but it was always a crazy place, but quite boring. It's not you can't really do a lot of things.
Do you ever catch one out of the sort of deep, out the middle of the bowl?
I did actually, but the only time was in the winter time. If you got a pressure drop lower than 1010,
right,
I would cast out. Boom! Oh, that's a hard spot in the middle, 26 foot, deep sludge everywhere. That's a hard spot. So it was a
hard
feeding
for
spot.
a reason, isn't it?
Hard for a reason. But you only get bites out in the middle when it dropped below 1,010, 1,000, or you've got a bit of a wind on, but anything above 1,010, you'd never get a bite out in the middle. Very occasionally. It had to be in the winter as well, not during the summer.
Wow.
So, I caught a few out there in the winter, freezing cold. Just thought, I'll give it a go out there.
Yeah.
Again, speaking to that guy I said who was really good angler, who said, watch what everyone else is doing. He said, I've caught a few out there in the winter. He done very well when no one else would fish it in the winter. Had no winter form at all.
No.
So I went over in the winter and I caught a few just by, he said, fish out in the middle, pressure gets dropped by, learning from someone else.
Yeah, too right. What bait? So you talked about bait. You talked about obviously having the amphibian on some maize. But in terms of bait at the time, what boilie or what bait were you on?
I was on, at the time, I think I was on dynamite baits, I think.
Oh, yeah.
From memory. Yeah, I think I was. When I do a bit of work for them as well, media work for them. But funny thing is, it's and one of the reasons why I said I was going to do this was that my very first break, as you could say, my very first sponsorship was with Nash.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking about it last night. It was even before when I thought it was. The very first BCAC, I don't know what year that was.
Mate, yeah.
And myself and my friend, he was mainline boy. They're all mainline was a big thing back then.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wasn't a mainline. Never used mainline. Don't know why. Just never used their bait. I'm not saying it's bad bait, but it's good bait. It's called everything in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
But so I wrote a letter to Kevin.
To Kev Knight?
No.
Oh, to Kev Nash.
Kev Nash.
Woo.
I wrote a letter to him. Write a letter. This is before emails or anything like that. Before all this happened, this is that many years ago. I wrote him a letter. I said, I'm fishing the first BCAC at Darrenth, it was as well, was a qualifier.
Yeah.
I said, my friend is a mainline boy, but would you sponsor me for, all I need is 5 kilo bait or something?
Yeah.
And he wrote back or rang me or whatever it was. Yep, not a problem. Probably he was really nice about it. and I got 75 kilo bait and a couple of pop-ups or whatever it was.
What did you have? Some squid or something? What was
squid.
it?
Squid, you
Nashy.
know. And we qualified, we come third.
Did you?
First was Nick Elliott and Lockie.
Oh.
From memory. Second was somebody else. That took you to the final, which was at Horseshoe Lake, the very first BCAC at Horseshoe Lake. So we both went up there, full of beans, come out last in the draw, never fished any of that old bollocks ever again.
Yeah, give it a miss.
Not good at it, not doing that again. It's all down to the draw. Come out last in the draw, just blanked, or in Summer Bay when everyone was catching crazy.
The main bowl or
but so that was the first time I ever got any type of sponsorship. Subsequent years went on. And Dave Levy said to me, look, you're doing a few articles, a few bits and pieces. I'll have a word with Basie, see if he can sort you out. Bang, that was my first sponsorship deal, was with Nash Bay, a little bit of, you could get discount or cheaper brollies and whatever it was back then. There wasn't a great, you know, it was sort of starting, I think.
Yeah.
It was bait. It was mainly Basie and the bait, you know, and Kev.
Of course.
My very first sort of gig of doing writing in magazines was for Nash.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's crazy.
And how old were you then?
God, bloody hell.
Was that were you was it pre-stockbroker days?
That was just after I got divorced and everything else.
Yeah. So you're like 29, 30?
Yeah. I got my fishing head on.
Wow.
And I thought, right, I just want to go fishing now.
And with that came articles and stuff as well?
I was writing articles in all the magazines, foreign magazines.
Yeah.
I just...
Loved it.
Yeah, Nash was the first one. Basie was the first one. Basie remained a friend for years and years still.
Yeah, we need to get Asian.
You've got to get him on it.
He's nuts, isn't he?
He's
yeah.
How can I put it? I fished a few lakes with him on. Always got along really well with him. But tell him to bring in his tackle box.
Yeah.
Because he's got rigs in there about 25 years old that he still ties and puts on. He is the quintessential old angler who don't give a toss. It's just right. Yeah, sharp enough, bang it hard. But he's all about finding the fish and doing something a little bit different.
I've probably had the most stories about Basie ever.
Mate, he just doesn't care about rigs and things. It just
character.
Means nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a means to an end. Just ties to, that old rig will do all right. Yeah, that's been in there since 1926. Yeah, cast it out. And he catches one.
Fair play to him, mate. He's a genius with bait, though. He's science.
He's just an all-round nice human being.
Yeah, nice. So for you, that sort of, I mean, the trade was the trade at the time, but it was very different to how it is now. Your development within that, obviously you're fishing quite premier waters, your Essex Manors, your Hortons, etc. Did you find that you got drawn more into writing, etc.?
How I sort of got into where I am now, the beginning of the journey was, obviously I got sponsored by Nash and then subsequent firms and a little bit with Dynamite Baits as well. But it's like, okay, right, your sponsorship, right, we want you to do this article for Total Carp.
Yeah.
Big Carp. Private course fishing, whatever it was. Yep.
Yeah.
So, right, go out with the photographer. You can write it all up, blah, 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 blah. And so I thought, I'm going to learn from these guys. I thought, how'd you take that picture? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? How'd you write this? How'd you lay it out? And I tried to learn as much as possible from these guys about how to take a picture, how to write an article, until it became second sense, until I went to Dynamite. One day I went, I can do that for you. Why don't you employ me to go out with Martin Pick or to speak to Nick Elliott or to go with him and I'll ghostwrite it for him, or I'll take some pictures for him, or I'll do the pictures at home and do that, and that's where it all sort of started. But I was very aware that, because obviously I was started getting paid then by different companies for fishing, but also for doing little articles and bits and pieces, and became a paid angler. Yeah. And I was very aware of that, okay, I'm getting paid, but that's not the be all and end all. I've still got to have a normal job.
Oh, so you still had a normal job?
Oh, of course, 100%. I was doing both and subsequently, I remember sitting in different meetings. It's just the way business is, and specifically the way the angling world is. 1 minute you're flavour of the month, next minute the business changes, or someone else comes along, or we don't need you anymore. we're doing it a different direction, or we've just been bought like dynamite.
Yeah.
It's been bought by Shimano. I remember sitting in a meeting with Nick Elliott and other guys with dynamite, and we'd probably had the best year we'd ever had. You know, for making it, they're doing like £9 million worth of turnover.
Wow.
That particular year, all them years ago, £9 million.
That's mad.
On bait.
Yeah.
And they went, we've got to sack you. Huh? What do you mean? What, you mean?
Cheers.
We had best year ever. Me, Nick, and everyone else was like, right, we're going to pay you up to the end of your thing, but no more. We're being bought by Shimano. We're refining it all down so it's more beneficial. There's no much outgoings, so we make more money.
Yeah, there's profit, streamlining.
It's business. It's just business. Yeah. So I thought, this contains I've got to have backup. I've got to have something else to go. And that's why I always had a job. Always had a job.
Let's skip that part. What was the job? Because I'm guessing you're not still with the BP ships.
No. Well, again, like with anything in my life, it's a little bit, it's quite, lots of things have happened.
Yeah.
So I was doing this job and doing the BP thing, fishing that, and then, as you do, you meet some young lady, or, well, it wasn't some young lady, it was a stripper, right?
A stripper?
From Liverpool. So I moved up there. I give up my job at BP.
Where did you? Whoa! Don't gloss over this, mate. Where at a strip club?
No, this was online.
Online.
It's just mate, the technology. You see, so I don't know. I just met this stripper somehow.
This is
and
brilliant.
Sort of thought I'm having some of this
from Liverpool.
And
so you're down in Essex.
Yeah. So I've never been one to do anything by halves. That's for certain.
True.
So I'm going to move up there.
Wow.
Obviously didn't last very long.
No.
As they don't in them type of relationships. And I come down with nothing, no work.
So you came back down after Liverpool?
Came back down straight after Liverpool after about a month of being up there. I'd given up my job. I said, I'm not coming back to BP. I'm going to move up there with you. We'll live happily ever after. Load of bollocks. Right? I got, the old pole in the middle of the... no good for you, is it? Again, think me something I shouldn't be thinking with. I should be thinking with this.
I mean, that's not to stereotype people who do that for a career, but that's a big move.
That's a big move, mate. I don't do things by half, as you will find. Because when I came back down, I thought, well, what am I going to do? I've always fancied being a policeman or a prison officer, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a prison officer. A friend of mine was a prison officer in London. He said, you'd be good at that. You should do that. Went through all the checks, went through everything. I went, I don't want to be a normal prison officer. I want to be one that deals with the terrorists. I want to be one that deals with all the big time gangsters, all the drug importers,
all the
foreign Mexican cartels. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. So for about a year, I had to go through all these
I was going to say
tests. And
what do they? It can't be easy.
It's not easy. You have to do all this training, self-defense training. You have to do all that type of thing. But the most majority is the MI5 and the government have to check you out.
Yeah.
They have to check all your family out.
Yeah.
They have to check whether you've got a criminal record. They have to check everything going back forever. Any of your associates, anything on you, anything like that.
Exactly.
So obviously they didn't do their job properly, did they?
No.
Because
that Liverpool strippers
they gave me the job. I went, no, you're joking, didn't you? You're joking. What? You mean I can actually have the job I want? Yes. So I went and became obviously I've signed the Official Secrets Act, so I can't really say a lot about it, because I was dealing with some very...
I bet.
Everyone used to see on the news, I should be banging them up at night, put it that way, or getting intel on them for
this
other people.
Tell me if I'm speaking out of turn. So this is terrorism, yeah?
Yes. All the 9/11 bombers and all them type of guys and that, I was the one banging them up at night, okay, or searching them. Or
what was that like?
It's pretty good.
What? Good?
Entertaining.
What do you mean?
It was just different. It wasn't boring.
No?
It was... I've got 100 million stories about it all, but...
You can't,
I can't tell you.
I can't imagine it was very... some of those crimes,
it is
pretty...
I can tell you now, the general public has no real idea of what's really out there walking the street. Because I see everything from the lowest sort of denominator who's nicking stuff out of Tesco's to the person who's got £5 billion in the bank who sells drugs all over Europe.
Yeah.
And the person who's trying to blow up the plane you're going to be on.
Yeah.
I'll give you one example, and I can't give you names or anything else. I'll give you one which really didn't freak me out, but it's quite a funny story. I remember being on the landing one day, and you've got various different people from different terrorist organisations on that landing who have been caught by the police and MI5 and all that, and they put them on the landing with us. So we look after them, we have to deal with them, sort their problems out, whatever it is. So and at the time I wanted to get a new computer. So some of these guys are in for trying to blow up this and trying to hack this and trying to... I know what I do. I speak to these guys. They know what I should be getting. So I've got the head of whatever it was. I've got another UK head of whatever. I've got the guy who they caught for blowing up whatever, and this guy for doing whatever he's done in France. And guys, come here, like that, right? Shows you how crazy it is, the world I was living in. Guys, right, okay, you guys know about computers. What computer should I be getting? What? Mac or a PC? What gig should it be? What should I have, this USB thing? I spent about an hour talking to them. They give me all the advice on what I should be getting, what I shouldn't be getting, why this does this, why it does that. It's not until I got home and I went to the Mrs. B, I went, what a surreal thing that is. You've just been speaking to probably the 5 most wanted people in Europe.
That's mental.
About sorting out your camera and your workstation at home, and I thought nothing of it. It's only when I got home I thought, that's mental.
Yeah, that's not normal, is it?
That's not normal, is it?
No.
But it's quite it's some of the things you see, some of the things that another human being can do to another human being and want to try and do to you as the establishment, and you have to deal with people, you have to fight with people, you have to restrain people. You have to go home a different way because you might be followed.
That's what I mean. There's a lot in your life.
It's a cat-a prison. It's a,
I think I'd struggle massively with that.
Then what I learned very quickly after doing it for about 10 years, right? What I learned very quickly was that you don't look at their record of what they're in for.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd end up absolutely, some of the things you go, whoa, that's just wrong, really wrong, really bad. You'd look at them, you just have to go, right, they're a human being, they're in here for a reason. You're not going to make their life any more hell than it should be. You have to treat them as an individual, and that worked, but then you got that back. You got that respect back, and you didn't feel like you was under threat all the time.
But there must have been challenges to you.
Lots of challenges. 100%. All the time, people trying to stab you, trying to kill you, trying to, they have contact with the outside world.
That's
so
what I mean.
it's like, they could find out your address, all these type of things. You have to go home a different way. You used to have I call it a get out of jail free card. If you went for a red light or went for a roundabout and you got stopped by the police, you just go, here's my warrant card, blah, 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 blah. I feel like someone's following me. I'm just doing some safety procedures. Okay, sir, on your way.
Oh, mate, I'd never be late. That'd be absolutely perfect.
So, but it was very challenging, you have to be on your game like you wouldn't believe, and you have to be very tolerant, but you have to know how to defend yourself when you need to be able to put someone on the floor. Simple as that. So you're constantly training. But then you had that side of thing, which was the most intense. But then you go on to another wing, which is just your normal wing, with your drug addicts, with your people who have been fighting, who have been nicked the Friday night. You go on, and you get on the landing, people shouting down, don't you? What you caught this week then, you mug, and all that.
Yeah.
Would they recognise you?
That's mad. What a
and
set
one of the
worlds.
maddest things, there's some real proper crazy, nasty, horrible stories, which I've seen things which no human being should ever seen, what people do to each other and what they do
inside this environment.
Inside this environment. People have no idea, what really goes on in the world half the time.
No.
But and it's what people do because they've got addictions. They're addicted to drugs or alcohol or things like that. So they've got to get their fix. And the way they hide things, the way they get things in, the way they do things is just like most people don't even realise how they're putting things up themselves. They're hiding knives. loads of things like that. They're trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
You know, there's all different things going on in there.
What's the one thing that makes you think? Was there one thing that made you really go, "Oh my God, that is mad, like ridiculous"?
People trying to kill themselves all the time. You know,
Really?
cut themselves. You know, with sharp objects, and you know, cut themselves that way. So they cut themselves long. They want to die. They want to kill themselves.
Wow.
You know, they cut themselves long ways. So that's down the vein. You know, many a time I've had to suit up, take a person who wants to kill himself and take them to the hospital.
Wow.
You know, escort dangerous people who are not right in their mind. They should be in a mental health place, not in a prison environment. But
that's heavy, mate.
Mate, honestly, most 99% of it I couldn't even talk to you about because it's like it's a matter of national importance, apparently.
Yeah, but also, where do you park that? Like, because if you see that,
what it does, it makes you very immune to anything.
Right.
I've walked along the street before, and there'd be two people fighting where normally everyone would be screaming out. I'd just step over them and walk along, or someone would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Just okay, I know what to do. Or someone would be like bleeding out. Right, I know what to do. I've had people where there's so much blood. Does that person have that much blood in their body? So you're saving them, but it's all like calm. It's not. There's no craziness.
It's just normalised.
It's just normal in that environment.
Yeah, that's frightening.
It's just normal, and it makes you very numb to life, to how the real world is outside of that environment. But it makes you deal with things in a totally different way. In one respect, it's very good because you're calm for everything. Anything that happens out on the street, you're calm. You know this ain't a big deal. This is normal. Car crash, people with their arms cut off, things like that. Well, I know what to do. It's not like, oh my God, this is like, I can't deal with this. What is this? Shock. It's just normal. It's just...
Hats off, mate. Well, hats off to anybody in the medical profession as well, because they deal with that's the same, isn't it?
It does make you very numb, but it's in a weird, twisted way. I sort of miss it.
Do you?
Because...
The buzz?
Yeah, it's just different every day. Every day is different. You've got relationships with people you shouldn't be having relationships with, or you never thought you'd come into contact with, like, you know, big time Liverpool gangsters, and you're having a normal conversation with them.
Yeah, what PC?
Or a terrorist, you know, terrorist from wherever, and you're just, what PC should I buy? Well, don't get that. Well, do you think I should get that one? No, I think Curry's got a better deal on doing this one. And it's only when you sit back and you think, that's a bit off the wall. That's a bit rude, isn't it? It's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then you get home and you see them on the news. You know, murdered 15 people.
Oh,
and
you know what I mean?
But it's just normal. It's just, and you'll be surprised, there's a few carp anglers who are prison officers as well.
Yeah?
In that environment.
Maybe it's a trait.
And there's quite a few criminals who are carp anglers as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a little bit uncomfortable sometimes because the powers that be didn't like that they knew who you was.
Yeah, of course.
And I eventually had to give up my job there because of medical. I used to get a lot of migraines.
All right.
So otherwise I probably still would have been doing it. I had to be medically discharged because to get a migraine, you can hardly see things.
Yeah.
In that environment,
you can't have that.
They will pick up on anything and try and exploit it.
Yeah, it's weakness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weakness, and you have to be 150% all the time. You have to be, you know, something that I've always been good at sussing out what someone's like. Yeah. But doing that job, I can look at someone, they don't even have to open their mouth, just through body language, the way they dress, everything. I just know what type of person they are straight away. Straight away, whether you're a good one or a bad one. Whether you'll be trusted or not trusted. And I very, very, very rarely ever get proved wrong. So in that respect, he's very good at that.
Yeah.
Giving you that heads up on human. Just the way people carry themselves and that. You see it all in the prison system.
That's amazing.
You see every trick, every way of getting their own way, every way of trying to kill someone else or do their own self-harm. Every single place you could hide something, you know, even from cutting inside of your mouth to just put something in there with a little pouch, you know, of your cheek, you know, cutting an open wound and putting drugs in. It's an environment where you're forever learning. It's never boring. There's always something going on, always some craziness, always some alarm going off. You have to run to and help someone. And
I'd rather be running to a bite alarm, mate, than any of those alarms. I'll tell you that now.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it sounds it.
And I can't say it was a bad experience.
No, you said if you weren't medically discharged, you'd still reckon you'd still be there.
I reckon I'll still be there because it's just because I get bored very easily. I need something going on in my head all the time, and that was a fix, I suppose. It was. It's very mentally draining. You get very, very fit. Yeah. I put on about 2 stone since I left many years ago. Yeah. But you're very mentally fit. You're very physically fit. You're very. I mean, I'm dealing with ex-professional, people from all walks of military and working there. And it's a buzz, mate. Mad. As I said, most people don't know about what I've ever done in my life, but it's never been boring, that's for certain.
Too right. But then you go from that, and I'm guessing during this period of time when you come back and you're a prison officer, you're still carp fishing as well.
Still carp fishing,
That's two completely
different. But it was on shift work. So, and it's just like carp fishing has always been my safe place.
Yeah, constant.
Where that's why I want to do it on my own. Because it sorts my mind out. It's very calm. I don't like lots of noise. Even at home, my missus, most women, they love to chat, don't they? I'm like, be quiet. If I never see another person in my life and there was no sound anymore, I'd be happy.
Really?
Just the way I am.
Yeah.
But I need that stimulation of mad things going on in my life every now and again.
Yeah.
But
did you do any fishing up in Liverpool? You're only there for a month.
No, I spoke to Gaz about the different lakes and different places. I was to get some tickets, but there's not a lot up there, mate.
No. Yeah,
there really isn't a lot of, the Reeds Mill I was going to go. There's a few other little lakes. And
Cheshire Way you got a bit.
I went and had a look at, where's that one where they had those big commons in?
Tatton Park?
I went and had a look around there. I walked around there a couple of times.
Yeah, that's not far from me.
So I was in between Liverpool and Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
What's the,
there's not a lot
what's that place called? There's a specific area there which is in between Liverpool and Manchester.
Widnes, I don't know, mate.
Near Widnes.
Near Widnes.
Something there on the M60 is something off there, but it's wherever it is. But I was living there with the old. Well,
that's a nice hand gesture.
Yeah,
Can only
but
imagine.
it's
not carp fishing mecca.
There's not a lot up there. There's a few other bits now, but
now
back then
it's
I don't do, as you can see, I don't do things by half.
So back down, prison officer. Where are you fishing? You've done the Essex Manor. You've gone a brief stint stripper housing.
I did, I went to fish Coat Water Park for a little while.
Yeah.
I thought a real challenge.
Yeah.
Somewhere a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And the guy was running at the time. He lived near me in Essex. Lived near me in Kent at the time. And he was like the warden there or something.
Right.
So I applied for a night ticket. I got a night ticket. I had to go and see him. I had to drive 3 hours from my house to Swindon to go and see him to get the ticket. And then I looked at the ticket. It's like, no dogs. Oh, fuck.
No dogs.
I've got my dog. I know, I've got my old pork chop.
Poor old pork chop.
Poor old pork chop. I thought, I have a cunning plan. So what I did was, the locals did not want me there at all. Really? They didn't want me fishing it one little bit. There's 2 particular guys which Terry Hearn got hassled off. So he fished at one point and they really hassled him.
What, they just protected
We're going to burn your van, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I thought,
yeah.
And I used to see the guy and his mate. He used to have a big heavy with him and this guy, and I knew he was trouble straight away. This is when I'm a prison officer as well. So I'm sussing him out straight away. And he's giving it all large to me. I'm going, I wasn't backing down nothing. I'm going, I'm fishing here.
What's he saying to you? I'm going to burn your van out?
So, no, that's what we were saying to Terry and a few others. He didn't like anyone half famous coming to try and catch the fish.
So it was your
he'd
profile.
spent 20 years and he couldn't catch it.
So it was your profile
exactly.
that really...
That's what it was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't like Terry's profile, obviously. That's why Terry stopped fishing it, because they were going to burn his van out, his car. We're going to burn. You come back, we're going to burn it. So I've got all this. We're having a bit of banter, backwards and forwards, and he's trying to work me out, and I'm sussed him right out, sort of thing. And then one of the bailiffs come round. I only done 9 nights. I think 7 or 9 nights on Coat Water Park. 3rd night, bailiffs come round. Can't have dogs. He's a sniffer dog. I'm a prison officer. He's a drug dog.
Get the
so I've got to have him with me.
Yeah.
Mate, they swallowed it.
They had it.
Yeah, he wasn't a sniffer dog. He was just mad Jack
a
Russell.
Winner, that is.
And they went, okay, you can keep him. So I was thinking on my toes quickly. I thought, he's a drug dog.
Get some warrant card stuff in there.
Here's my warrant card.
Yeah.
Is the so they suffered it. The only dog ever to be allowed on there, sort of thing.
Pork chop, running the manor.
He was running a madness. He was chasing everything, going crazy over there. He loved it. It was a mad place. Yeah. It's bang in the middle of two council estates who are fighting each other, drug wars and everything. There's motorbikes coming in the lake. There's cars being driven around. I remember one night sitting there and what's this noise behind me? There's like about 20 guys fighting with axes, with knives. They're fighting behind the bivvy about 10 foot away.
That's what you want.
Like madness going on. And then another night there'd be like, what is that over there, sort of thing? And it'd be like someone with a needle in their arm up against a tree.
God, mate.
And people just camping out for the sake of it, and madness over there. Absolutely crazy. But what some fish in there, absolute bangers in there. I was luckily enough, I fished, I think it was 7 nights I'd done on there. Another little story, in Mike Wilmot's book, he catches that fish, I can't remember the one it's called now. The big one out of there. The Resident, it's called. That's it, the Resident.
The Resident, right, yeah.
So he catches that. And in his book, he talks about this guy called Squealer.
Right.
Who takes all the photographs, used to look after him, makes him cups of tea. And they called him, he had a nickname, Squealer, in the book. So yeah, that was his name. So, and this guy's come up to me when I'm there. I'm talking to him. He said, yeah, lovely lake this is and all that. He says, you might know me from the book. My name's Squealer.
Oh.
So it's him. So it's the guy out of the book. Here's my number. If you catch anything, let me know. I'll come down and take a photograph for you. Well, that night, the first bite I had, I catch the Resident.
Oh, no way.
And he comes down, he does the photographs and the video for me.
That's weird.
How mad story is that?
Why is he called Squealer?
Because he used to tell everyone what Mike Wilmot and all his mates were doing. Yep, he's bottom mates.
I was going to say, that's not a good
they're
nickname.
fishing there. No. But what a guy, you know. What a story. Yeah. I mean, I was very lucky. My first bite on there was the big one, was the one everyone wanted to catch.
So how are you fishing it, mate? Because it's a big old sheet of water, isn't it?
Big old sheet of water. Everyone wanted to stay up the diving board end and up there. I went, I'm going to go and fish number 1 swim. I'm going to fish right down the other end, away from everyone, where I think the fish are going to be. First 5 trips, first 5 nights, I fished a swim called the Fridge, which is on its entrance, which just screams carp, but nothing's ever been caught from there, I don't think. Oh, it's all right, I'll catch one out of there. Yeah. I'm good, I am. I'll catch one. No, it's not the one. Bait in it and that, and never seen another thing. So I thought, what can I do? You know, I'm going to struggle here, really struggle. Went down to number 1. I thought, it just feels right down here. No one's fishing up this end. Everyone wants to fish up by the diving board because all the photographs and all the articles, all about the diving board. I'm going to go away from everyone else, do my own thing. Got a bait boat, didn't I? I thought, I'm going to take a leaf out of someone else's book. Yeah. Get a bait boat. Got a bait boat. Got a little echo on it, little plug-on thing. Yeah. You know, and dot that. I thought, I'm going to take it down to the left. And I'm going to try and find a hard spot. So weed and shit and that. Oh, that looks like a hard spot. Bang, drop 1 rig, about 4 foot of water, I think, something like that. Come back, do another rig, boom. Yeah, we're about 80 yards down the left. I could have cast there, but I thought...
But you were using it to locate a spot?
Yeah, I was using it to locate a hard spot. Yeah. Oh, sod me, 12 o'clock at night, bip, 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 bip. Play my first fish. It's only the one. It's only that lucky jammy with the carp goods are smiling down on you.
When your name's on it.
Your name's on it. Simple as that. And I had 2 bites that night, never to return again after then.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Is that a respect thing? You've had the biggest and you've done it, or?
That's what I set my sort of heart. I wanted to catch. I'd read in a book. I'd seen Mike's, his book, his photograph. What a fish! I was like, I'm gonna be on it some years. Travelled the 3 hours. That's the fish I want. I don't really mind it. But anything else comes along, lovely. But that's the one I want. That's the one. So when I caught it, it's like I'm done. I've got to give someone else a chance. Yeah. I've done, plus the locals as well, mate. If I'd gone back, they would have been like,
that's a nightmare.
Your van's getting blown up.
Yeah,
you've caught it. Simple as that.
That's what I was worried about. You go back and realistically,
I remember one of the trips. I'd got out of the van. I was walking down a single track. You know, like you've got all grass and you've got a tiny little track, about as big as that. Tiny little track. I've got a rucksack on my back. Vroom, someone come past me through everything, and I went, Mate, you're welcome to it. If you want it that bad, you have to push.
Oh, it's an
past
angler.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want it that bad
yeah.
that you want to go into that swim, and I'm halfway along into the swim
Yeah.
already. You want it. You have it.
Yeah.
You have it, mate.
Yeah. Too
Simple
much.
as that.
But
Crazy place down
you
there.
got a result, mate. Job done.
More than a result. It's Carp
Yeah.
gods were definitely smiling down on me down there. That's for certain.
Let's open the welly chapter, mate, because I've known lads that have fished welly. I've known lads that have done well on it. I know lads that have really, really struggled on there.
Yep.
Well, Daryl Peck's case in point, he struggled, and then he's absolutely smashed it
Yep.
recently. How did you find why welly? But I've sort of guessed no, why welly, and B, how did your time on there progress?
Well, it's one of them. I got offered a guest on there many, many, many years ago. I was doing some photography and things like that for the magazines, and I said, right, to get a guest, I'll do a little article about you. I'll do a little few pictures.
Just about Wellington Country Park, yeah?
Yeah, well, it's about the angler,
about
and
the
how he
angler.
approached it and all that. He
Okay.
was dynamite
Okay.
angler at the time, and he had a ticket. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna have a little go. I'm gonna have a little guest on there. Lovely.
Yeah.
And that's the way in to get, once the guys know you, that's the way in to get your full ticket. This is about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So I did the shoot with him and that, and got myself a ticket on the list. Got a ticket next year, which was something like 400 quid or something.
yeah.
You know, and the way my mind works with fishing, I fished it for a couple of years, dropped my ticket.
Yeah.
A couple of years went past, I want another ticket. Done all the back on, done all the crawling, everything else. Fish are starting to get bigger. But it's not a 50-pounder in there.
So it's not at its heyday. The first stint.
It depends how you'd see it. There's lots of fish in there when I guested and I got a ticket.
But not the 50.
And I struggled a little bit. I must admit, there was a lot of fish in there then. Struggled a little bit, caught a few, but it wasn't as easy as all the magazines made out. It was for some who were doing 3 on, 3 off, 3 on, 3 off, and getting in the going swims, all that type of thing. So I give up my ticket. I'd caught a few nice ones. I'm happy with that.
What would you add at that first stint?
Oh, blimey. Quite a few 30s, I think, some 40s maybe, low 40s.
And was it
very weedy? It was chock-a-block with weed then.
Yeah. Did you said that you struggled? So did you change something to catch them, or was it just?
I just had a way of fishing. It wasn't a way to catch them out there.
Right.
You know, it just wasn't. I was catching them, but not as many as what I should have been catching.
Right.
I felt I was always behind the curve on there. Couldn't get in the right swims. Very swimmy then. Very bait orientated. Very one in, one out. So and I was fishing the little holes and little corners and still catching a few, but not as much as I should. So,
right.
So I give up my ticket. I can't remember why now. Whether maybe I'd fish somewhere else or I didn't have the money to pay it or something was going on at that time. So a couple of years went past. I want a ticket back. So I messaged the owner again, or the guy who runs the syndicate. Any chance of getting on? Oh, I don't know. Might be able to get you on. But it took me a couple of years to get back on again.
Yeah.
Fished it again. Caught loads of real good ones, loads of 40s. By then, it would. After 2 years, I got bored again. I get very bored very quickly on the lake.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Especially if I'm catching. Sometimes I like not to catch, so I stay, and it's a bit of a challenge. That may sound a bit of a blasé thing, but if you catch them all, it gets boring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I fished that for a couple of years, caught some real nice ones, and there was 150 in there when I left.
Really?
There was 150, maybe two. There was the turtle and the Chinese, 53, 54. I'd caught most of them. I caught the big common at 49, I think. I hadn't caught the Chinese or the turtle.
Yeah.
It was when Ian McMillan had just finished. He'd give up his ticket at the same time as me.
Yeah.
He'd come back as well, give up his ticket same time as me.
But you both got something in common, whereas I think Ting Tong had a good one on his last night, didn't he?
That's right, yeah. He shouldn't have been there, really. He'd done too many days.
Right.
But we fished that same session together.
Right.
I caught the big common at 49. He caught the turtle after I'd gone. We were both doing each other's pictures, all that type of thing. He was fishing one swim, I was fishing another.
Yeah.
So, and then I went, and he went, sod that, I'm staying for an extra night. Sod that. So he stayed and he caught it. Fair play.
You had a freaky occurrence with regards to a recapture, didn't you? When you were coming off.
Yes, this is the third time I got a ticket. This is
you
only
got 3 tickets?
Yeah, this is only the second time.
Oh, mate, you are like three
I
rolls
must be
of
the only
dice.
person who's had a ticket for Welly 3 times on the syndicate. So I give it up. There was a 53 and a 54. I thought, well, I can't stay on here forever to catch them. I've got other places to fish, like Calder Lake, like the Colne Valley, like all over the place, really. You know?
You said the second time you were a bit more prolific in terms of your catches.
Yes, definitely. Caught most of what I wanted to catch.
So what was the change? Was it a change in the lake? Was it less weedy? Was it a change in how you approached it?
It was a little bit less weedy. I just learnt more, I suppose, about the lake. Used a lot more bait at the time, a lot more moving, more proactive, rather than bait and wait wanker. I'd move a lot, move all the time. Get on the fish, move, and get more bites that way, which stood me in stead for the third time that I got a ticket. Right, it's so I left, and there was 150, maybe 2 in there. One of them was a 1 fish a year sort of the turtle. You could spend your whole life trying to catch it. So I thought, I'm going to go somewhere else. In the meantime, they put loads of blue dye in there, and they killed all the weed, and the fish just got massive. There was 23 50s in there when I got my ticket back, possibly 2 60s.
That's mad, isn't it?
Within the space of 3-4 years since I've given up my ticket. So
That's mad.
And most of these are ones I hadn't caught as well. They're all come from 30-pounders, low 40s.
Literally just shot through.
Shot through, because all that natural food and all that bait, they could harvest a lot within 2 or 3 years. Harvest everything. Rather than being the weed, no weed, loads of food. Let's get bigger.
Smash it,
Got massive. So I got my ticket the third time. And I went on there, and I spoke to a lot of my friends who were fishing at the time. They go, you've got to cast 150 yards. You've got to get by that island, or you won't catch the big ones. You've got to go right out there. You've got to be out, cast load, put loads of bait out. And I thought, if everyone's doing that, I want to fish in the edge. I'm going to fish 20 yards. I'm going to move around all over the place. I'm going to fish bottom baits. Everyone's fishing pop-ups. Ronnie rigs were just going into the 4.
Right.
If the truth be known, the Ronnie rig, which you all see now, is not the actual original Ronnie rig.
Right.
Very similar, but the guy, Ronnie, who was on the lake of Welly originally, that's not the Ronnie rig. That's not the real Ronnie rig.
No.
The real Ronnie rig is you've got a great big bit of nylon, which comes down like a big D.
Yeah.
And it runs on that. It doesn't run on the shank.
Oh, it's not on the shank?
Not on the shank. Stiff. It's about that tall. It's long shank hook. No curve in it at all.
A long shank hook,
And that is the real Ronnie rig. Tied up by Ronnie himself. Okay?
Officially Ronnie.
Officially Ronnie. Okay? One of the best anglers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Real. Fished everywhere. And caught Melstow everywhere. Real good guy. Real nice guy as well. Real unassuming. Real... Just catches them.
Yeah. He should have patented the old Ronnie rig, mate. He'd have made a few quid, wouldn't it?
Well, it's because of like Gardner, Lewis and that were on there at the time. They, as you do, it's a business opportunity.
Of course it is.
We'll move this around, use that, and they started catching loads on it. Kept it quiet, then thought, well, because I work for Gardner, we're going to push that out there. Bang, a new thing, just like the Chod rig, new thing's born. Thank you very much, angling community.
Result.
Millions of fish caught on it.
Yeah.
Millions of pounds made on it.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner. So that aside, I thought, no, I'm not going to be casting 150 yards with a Ronnie rig. I'm going to fish bottom baits, long hook links, PVA stringers, singles. I'm just going to do everything
Close
different.
in.
I'm just going to, wherever the fish are, I'm moving on to them straight away. Fish really light and everything else. That first year I fished back there, when everyone said, you ain't really going to catch a lot, 49 fish that first year.
49 fish?
49 fish that first year.
What was a breakdown of them? How many were big uns or 18ers?
I think I had 3 or 4 50s at the time. Don't forget that. And about 5 49-pounders.
That's mad.
Loads of 40s, loads of 30s. But all the ones that I wanted to catch that I ain't caught before.
Yeah.
Obviously the chestnut, 57-pound 3 ounce, biggest common. Hadn't been out for 18 months, then didn't come out for another 18 months afterwards. Just spent another 3 years on there.
And there, you're basically, like you said, you're basically getting on them. But in terms of fishing, I'm guessing you're not even you're not even necessarily finding spots or looking for a hard spot. You're just chucking.
I'm just chucking it out.
Yeah.
I'm just chucking it out.
Long hook lengths.
There's no weed or anything.
Yeah.
Don't forget. So it's all about finding the fish.
Yeah.
Staying up late, finding one up, moving at 1 o'clock in the morning onto them. Many a time. Probably I'd say 30 of those, 35 of them 49 captures were boom, boom, boom. Rods on the floor. I've got one.
Yeah.
Just following the fish wherever they were going. There's 2 sets of guys fishing it when I was fishing it. 99% of them, bait and weight wanger.
Yeah, campers.
And they caught just as many as the people running around.
Yeah.
They do 3 nights, 4 off, 3 on, 4 off, 3 on. Full timers, And then I went on there and went, I'm not going to fish 150 yards. I'm just going to fish in the edge. I'll try and find them. Ping, stringers, singles, not even spray much bait out there. But what I did do also was I'd get my hook baits and I'd glug them in oils, liquid liver and minamino or salmon oil and green lip mussel, glug them up and put loads and loads of wraps of green lip mussel and liver pad around it in a pot.
Supercharge them. Yeah.
Bit like the cultured hook baits.
Yeah.
Like that. So a bit like Sticky's new one.
Krill Active,
Krill Active, that type of thing, but good few years ago now. And use those hook baits. Use double hook baits, double 18 millers.
Big old, I remember seeing,
something that no one's doing.
Yeah.
Bang. Long nylon hook links.
Was there bream in there or not? Tench?
A few tench, but not really.
No.
And yeah, that was
mega.
That was the way forward. Just totally different from what everyone else was doing. Find a fish, cast something which is highly attractive on rigs they're not long rigs which they're not used to dealing with.
Yeah.
While everyone is using Ronnies and stiff booms and everything else.
Mad.
Say it different.
More than one way to skin a rabbit, mate.
Always.
Yeah.
Always, isn't it?
That's good angling, that. Some incredible
different.
fish in there as well.
I really thought about it before I went on there. That first trip I went there, I think I had 5 bites within an hour of being there. And it was all on this. And one of them was big common at 57. The other big common. So that particular year, I had 2 57-pound commons.
That's madness, mate, isn't it?
You know. And throughout those 3 years of fishing now, every February, I'd catch a 50-pounder. In February, when it's freezing cold.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's when no one else was bothering, and so you'd see like one fish show or something.
Would you say that was your most memorable capture from there? Like a February 5th?
100%, yeah, 100%. It's got to be up there in my top 3 captures of all time, purely because of like the fish hadn't been out, everyone thought it was dead, and I just had this one track mind. No, I'm going to catch this. I'm having this. You know, freezing, -3 the night before, steaming, nothing going on, no fish been out for a month. Then that one come out, boom, single hook baits to areas, boom. As soon as it landed, I thought, that's a bite. So when I woke up in the morning, still asleep, single bleep, zip.
Yeah,
you got it in. It's like the feeling of that is just blew me away.
It's just a phenomenal fish.
It's just crazy. 57-pound 3 common in February, in winter.
That's phenomenal, mate.
Madness. Just crazy. And and it's like, it's one of the best looking common. I'm not just saying it because I caught it. It's such a common.
There's something about big commons anyway, isn't there? They're just magical things.
It's just mad. And on the same day, same day, give or take a day, I caught the other big common at 57 from roughly the same area. It's it's a mad lake. There's still some good fish in there.
Yeah. It had a big old fish kill, didn't it?
Yeah, had a big old fish kill. A couple of different fish kills it's had over the years. But it's just the atmosphere, and as soon as it's a park lake, it's busy. It's people walking around. In the summer, crazy shit going on. There's women sunbathing and kids and dogs and everything going on. And
Until the gates
Animal
shut.
Farm, all the ducks get out and the pheasants and people shooting things all around the lake. As soon as that gate closes, it's like paradise.
Yeah.
And then fish start showing and
a different world, isn't it?
Like Pecky said, it's a gentleman's club.
Yeah. He's done quite well on there recently, mate.
He's done well.
Yeah, I just think it's a magical place, mate. It's an absolute result, that is. We're going to do, it's one of the sections of the podcast. It's called Words of Wisdom. Yep. Now, I mean, I can't. I've tried to almost, not that I have, because there's still more to talk through, but conceptualise your life, your angling, throughout both your angling and your life. What would you say were the best pieces of advice you've ever been given, both on the bank, and not relating to fishing?
On the bank, I would say is like that guy said: watch what everyone else is doing and do the opposite. Because there's a set way people fish a lake because of captures.
Yeah.
You know, he's catching on yellow pop-ups. Right, I'll try one. Oh, he's had one. That's 2 fish. Everyone sort of goes in that direction. So don't ignore it, but at least 1 or 2 of us do the opposite.
Yeah.
Fish bottom bait, they're all fishing pop-ups. Like I did when I went to Welly. I thought, they're all fishing Ronnies. I know they're all fishing Ronnies.
Yeah.
I'm going on the bottom.
Yeah.
Double 80 millers instead of a little 12mm pop-up.
Yeah.
I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
Through life is my stepfather, God rest his soul. He said, just keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Never give up. Keep on keeping on. Never give up. Hard work never killed no one.
Yeah. No.
You can get anything you want in this life if you work hard enough for it.
Yeah, graft.
That's what he instilled in me, graft. He was an Irish builder and he worked his life. He would work 7 days a week, party like a crazy animal. Till 4 a.m, I'd see him pissed up as I got in myself at 4 o'clock or whatever. Or come back or going fishing or whatever. He'd be in a chair listening to Elvis with his headphones on. He's by 6 o'clock, he's back up, being picked up and going digging roads.
Yeah.
Bang, on it.
Yeah. It's a lot to be said for it, mate. I think most people throughout life, regardless, whatever level they're at, if they've done well, whether that be that they're happy or that they're successful or particularly rich or whatever, they've always grafted, mate. It's very difficult.
Grafting, you can get anything. I try and distill it into my kids, especially my son. Is that you can anything you want, but you just got to turn up and be there and do it.
Your kids anglers or not?
This is a strange one. My son is 13 now, and he's always wanted to go, and I've always held off from taking him.
Right.
I don't think he'd appreciate it yet.
Okay.
So these next couple of years, I will be taking him, and it's a bit of a, I don't know, this may sound the wrong thing to say, but my fishing's mine. Even though he's my son, and I love him more than anything in the world. It's like I'm bringing someone into what's kept me alive all my life.
Yeah, I get you.
You know, but I will do because he can appreciate it more now.
Yeah.
And he has been fishing, but not with me.
Okay.
You know, he's been with his little mates and things like that down the river.
That's cool.
Down the river near where I live and all that sort of stuff. And not caught nothing yet, but I've bought him a little rod, a little hold all, and things like that.
That's nice as well because not a lot of kids.
But I will take him and his little mate, and he's dying to go. He has been with me once overnight, and he loved it.
Did he?
He stayed overnight with me. He absolutely loved it.
That's good, mate.
When he was a young nipper, about 3 or 4.
Wow.
But I will do. It's just I didn't want to bring him into it really young and him not like it or get bored or want to go home or.
I get it.
But I feel a little bit like I haven't let him enjoy it yet, but I'm gonna let him because he can appreciate it more now.
That's nice, mate. Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know, he's Game Boy. He's on his. He's a gamer like you wouldn't believe, and computers as well.
Well, mate,
he loves it.
Might be lucrative in the long run, that mate.
I think so. I'm playing a long game with him.
Yeah. You can retire back then, do more fishing. What we haven't talked about really is sort of up to what it is that you do now. I mean, there is some backstory to this, but a lot of people might not know that you're very. How can you say? You're almost a media consultant, would you say, mate?
Yeah, I mean, since I realised that my time in the prison service was coming to an end because of my medical condition, with my headaches and that, I'd always been good with the camera. I'd always been good with social media. I just put myself out there more, doubled down on it, approached companies and sort of said, like, well, I can do this for you, I can do that. You know, you're not getting any sales. Let me try this. Let me do it for nothing, first of all.
Wow.
And then when I actually got into it, like with Dynamite, I used to run.
So was that your first sort of...
My first sort of venture into it was with Dynamite, really.
Okay.
You know, where the guys there, they just wanted something to help them, to look after the young anglers like I was at the time as well, be the sort of go-between and keep them on track, get some features done with them, you know, get some photography done with them, all that type of thing. And that's where it sort of started. Did a little bit of other companies, just little bits and pieces, nothing because I had a normal job.
Nothing formalised. This is just you.
Formalised. Yeah. Then I thought, well, I've got to have another career doing something else. This is, you know, stopping and not one for doing things at half. What am I good at? Well, I'm good at Facebook. I'm good at computers. I'm a computer programmer when I was younger. I'm quick with numbers. I'm good at all that sort of stuff. So I just sort of put myself out there, really. Said, like, I can do this for you. I was approached after I left Dynamite. Martin Ford came in and was looking after Dynamite anglers and that. He left as well.
Yeah.
Went and worked with Eric's and Sticky Baits.
Sticky, I mean, that's
Sticky, and he got me to be. I was their media manager. I was their first ever media manager.
That's massive, because Sticky, I remember, well, I wasn't up north at the time, but Sticky had like a meteoric rise out of nowhere. And they were just about the same time when there was a lot of bait firms sprouting up.
Yeah.
And they...
Well, what we did was, I mean, I was responsible for bringing on Jim Shelley to the team.
Yeah.
I was their media manager. I got Jim the deal.
Is that through connections you had through fishing the same venues with Jim and stuff?
Well, not really. It was just that I was a media manager. Who do we need? I reckon we need the guy who was running Sticky at the time, Tom's brother. He was like, Tom wasn't running it then. It was
Sam was running it.
Sam was running it. From Eric's.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, what do we need to make this? I bought this company. Now, what do I do with it? You know, from Jason Callahan, I think it was originally.
Yeah.
Had some good little products, like the bloodworm pellets, all that sort of stuff. How can I make this into a viable business? He had Eric's running, busy with that. I need a media manager. I need someone to bring me in the anglers. I need someone who's high profile as well. Blah, blah. Me.
So how do you approach Jim then? What do you do? Just give him a call?
I just rang him up and said, look, do you want to, how do you feel joining Sticky? And I think he was out of a deal, or I'd been speaking to him for a while. He was happy with his deal. Then he come out of a deal.
Okay.
So then he sort of approached me and said, what? I said, I'll find out. But yeah, I'd love to have you on the team.
Wow.
And all these guys like Marcus Howarth, all them joined the Stick. It was all through me getting them all in. And doing the media and talking to the magazines, Carpology, like when you was there, going up there and doing advertising, doing all that with all different magazines, started that off. Then I had a bit of a falling out with Tom. We're back to mates and friends now. Yeah. And the rest is history with them. They've sort of given that little bit of a base, and they've done bloody amazing. Yeah. Now, Yeah. But that was my sort of grounding in the industry to go and approach other companies. So I've worked with loads of them.
But how did you do that? So you Sticky's, obviously whatever's gone on's gone on, but all happy days now. But you finished Sticky. So how do you then... Because this is a time when, realistically, media's starting to massively pick up, especially social media. Yep. Magazines are still there, but obviously it's gonna digitalise over time. So how do you then, upskill yourself so you can stay ahead of this curve, but also...
You have to put the work in. You have to... everything's self-taught.
Really?
Everything's self-taught. I've done little courses and things like that. YouTube's a great thing for anything.
Yeah, YouTube is good.
Looking at certain people who are doing certain things, and trying to reverse engineer. Well, how did they get that picture of that size? And okay, I know what they're doing. How do I do that? Go on YouTube. Well, how do you do a 4x5 picture? How do you do? And just cramming it all in, doing it, walking the walk, having a good Facebook and Instagram page, YouTube channel. You can't go to someone and go, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Well, what's your? Oh, I haven't got one. I don't know. When you can go, well, look what I do on mine. We can grow yours like this. We can do yours. We can do that like that. I've worked with Sticky Baits. I can take a picture. Here's the pictures. I've written articles, blagging it in some respect.
Yeah.
But having a lot to back it up as well. So you're blagging it initially with a lot of it, but you've got to have the confidence and everything else to be able to do the do.
Yeah, I don't think there's any qualifications or anything at that time, though, is there, mate?
Not really. There is now. You can do things, but they're pointless because they're so out of date. By the time you do the courses, you're not in the real world anymore.
And our industry's very different, probably, to put it in one way, to a lot of other industries.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Yeah. So I mean, I've been a media manager. What I did was contract. So I didn't like the guys out there now. They work for Nash.
Yeah.
I'd work for myself, and I contract out my services. Yeah. I did it for Urban Baits. Yeah. Did all theirs. Done all their media, photography, videos. Their YouTube, their Facebook,
that,
Instagram.
Early days, or when was that?
Pretty early, probably about 6-7 years ago, something like that. When Very Tell was very first sort of started.
Yeah.
More recently, I've worked with Total Fishing.
Oh yeah.
I did all their Instagram, Facebook, all their stories, give them a strategy, a plan, all that type of stuff. So I contracted in there. Lots of different companies. Western Developments do the real handles and that. One of my clients. But most of my clients are non-fishing companies. But I get a lot of fishing company guys who work there.
So you're working outside of fishing as well on media consultancy?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
what sort of other industries?
Engineers.
Yeah.
The care sector.
Wow.
And that sports company, sports bar company, sports drinks, that type of things. Lots of different ones, just running their media for them.
So here's a question. This is just me being interested. How does fishing media and how those media, the companies are run, compare to other industry?
Be nice or honest?
Honest, mate.
Fishing industry is about 10 years behind everyone else.
Is it?
Yeah. Because the problem is that fishermen work in the fishing industry and they're not media people.
No.
And they're not been to college to learn media.
Yeah.
Or been to put they're fishermen who think, I'm not taking anything away from them.
No.
It's just, yes, you have to have a little bit of fishing because it's the fishing industry, but you don't. You just need to know media properly.
Yeah.
You need to know the ins and outs of all the algorithms, everything else that's going on.
So you think...
And be up to date and be on it all the time.
Yeah, so you think it'd be easier to take somebody who's got a media degree and teach them fishing rather than 100%. Somebody who's got fishing.
Not so much a media degree, a life degree.
Oh, yeah.
In how everything works.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think the actual social media thing doesn't matter what industry you take it to.
Yeah.
It's all the same, roughly.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about consistency. It's all about knowing the algorithms. It's all about being up to date with everything. It's all about putting the work in. That's all it is. Everything in life is putting the work in.
Yeah, totally.
Putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I haven't done what I'm doing, my own company and getting work through word of mouth. Don't advertise for anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm a lazy sod. I make it happen.
Well, if you've got, especially this industry, it is word of mouth, a lot of it, isn't it? And it's knowing people and it's network. And if you've got that, then you never really
sometimes
struggle.
That goes against you. Because as you know, throughout, there's egos and there's all things. It's like, well, why do I want him? Why do I want him to come and do our media? If one, he perceives himself as a better angler than I am. That's why I don't have anglers in the industry. Have media people. So they go, yeah, he knows what he's doing. We need him.
Yeah.
Not, he's another angler.
Yeah.
Who's affecting my position, possibly.
Yeah.
In the company.
Yeah, I see.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So that can be a negative sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
Which puts the owner in a difficult position because he wants to keep the employees happy.
But he also wants
the contractor to come in and do the do and help them. So what I do normally is I come in for 6 months, do the do, get it all up and running, smashing the granny out of it, and it's like, well, there you go.
And just leave them to their
in-house.
Yeah.
It's all in-house. Because I don't want to work for anyone. It's not my thing.
Why is that?
I like being independent. I like... because you're behold and all your eggs are in one basket then. You know, if you've got different revenue streams, like with COVID, one fucks up, you've still got the other ones to fall back on.
Yeah.
Just think, for instance, if you're Nash and it's like lockdown, no fishing for a year.
Yeah.
Company's fucked.
Yeah.
No income for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Europe, England.
Yeah, you're gone.
You'd be lucky to survive.
Yeah.
If that's just one part of your business, that can close down and you can still live.
Yeah.
You still got other things going on.
Yeah.
That's one thing a very wise man taught me. Don't have all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Have different things going on. Hence why I've got a media company that does all social media, Instagram, Facebook.
And that's just you, isn't it, mate?
Just me. You know, there's lots of good software out there that can help you with everything.
Yeah.
But it's just putting the work in. I work 12, 14, 16-hour days sometimes.
Yeah.
To be able to go fishing for 2 days.
How does that marry with the missus, mate? She fine with that?
She loves it.
Yeah?
I told you, she's a one in a million.
That's brilliant, mate.
I've got my own office in my house.
Yeah.
She brings constant cups of tea.
I
mean, she works for the government as well, so she's got her own things going on.
I'm not going to say any more, mate, because I'll end up in a small box somewhere.
She's got her own things going on with certain things what I used to be involved with. She's got a much different level to me.
But that's cool. She's got her own thing, hasn't she?
She's got her own thing going on. She's just very understanding.
Yeah.
And there's not many women like this. I can go home now and go, I'm going fishing for a week in Yugoslavia. And she go, okay, what do I need to get you? Do you need any food to take?
Wow.
Do you need me to drop you anywhere? Do you need not
just biscuits, mate? Is all you need.
Not like the old wife. Fishing. That's the reason you're getting divorced. Fishing.
I think that's brilliant, mate.
It's great, isn't it?
I think that's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
fishing.
Fishing.
I don't think even the people that genuinely have probably got divorced because of angling too much haven't got fishing on their divorce.
It actually states
that's brilliant.
Fishing.
I'd have that framed.
It's crazy, isn't it? I think Mrs. B would be too happy.
No, probably, probably not.
Yeah, she quite likes that. But,
probably not.
But yeah, I mean, it's like with this new venture of mine, Catch More Carp.
Yeah.
Which is a subscription-based website.
Yeah.
So I'll give you, without boring you, you get 4 videos a month. 2 of them would be me. I might go out with you and do your fishing, your video. Might go with Alan, say, or whatever, doing their fishing. You get 4 live streams a month. So every Thursday, 7 o'clock, closed Facebook group, hundreds of people come in, asking questions. We do just like a normal live.
How do you find the lives, mate?
I love it.
Yeah,
I really do. Because you're in one-to-one, you're connecting with that person. You know? Plus, you get a close Facebook group, so you can ask any questions in there. You get tackle discounts, and you get. I mean, this month is a £100 prize for Sissy Moore bait bundle.
Nice.
So you got all $4.99 a month or whatever it is. Yeah.
How do you? Well, we're going to talk,
but it's taking that leap of faith and pissing off some of your followers. But you have to. I was getting so many messages from people saying, "Oh, we want to see more of your videos. We want to see more lives. We want to see that." And it's like, well, I can't physically do it because it's costing me money to do it. The only way I can do it is to go, right, I'm going to do this properly, 150%, but I'm going to have to charge her.
Yeah.
And most of them said, okay, not a problem.
Yeah.
So I had to do it. Plus, there were a few other people doing it and a couple of others copying. But
yeah, of course.
You know, but mate, the actual craziness that's gone on around it.
Yeah.
As if I've killed their dog and chucked it in the bin.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it for free anymore.
Yeah.
When others, it's like, it's the best £4.99 I've ever spent. It's brilliant. I'm getting so much value.
But I think
everyone's different, aren't they?
I think the reason, though, is because you hit it very hard for free. At one point, you were pretty much bringing a vlog out every other week or every week.
I think at one point, when I first hit it, and that was, I was doing it every week. I was doing a video, a vlog, I was doing a how-to, I was doing a live. I was doing 3 things because the algorithm wanted 3 things a week to grow so quickly.
Yeah.
But it was, well hard work. Plus, with a normal job, trying to do everyone else's social media and fishing, you actually have to go fishing and film everything and edit it. Madness.
Yeah, mate, I couldn't imagine it.
But you have to do it if you want to get to this end goal, don't you?
Yeah. What is the end goal then?
That was the end goal, to make it subscription-based, to do more for people, to get a tribe of people who are willing to get more content, take more content on, and not be beholden to companies paying you to use their gear and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's one definite testament.
The reason why it all started many years ago was, one, because of the dynamite thing. 1 minute, you've done the best you could ever do, and it's like, no, we've got to get rid of you because business is going another way. Yeah. Fair enough. But I was paid to use people's gear, different companies. And we've done really well again. And that company went, don't need you anymore. We'll use your money for something else. So it's like, doesn't matter how good or their business is different, which is up to them.
Yeah.
You're beholden to someone.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the reason I did what I did as well was that as soon as you go, I'm Fox or Nash or whoever it is, I'm paid by them to show you this product, you lose all credibility.
Yeah.
Not all credibility, but you lose a little bit because people go, well, you're paid to say that.
Yeah, you're being paid to sell that.
Well, you're being paid. So, okay, I like you as a person and I get it. Yeah, it's a nice product. But then you've got some people who go, well, you've been paid. So you're talking bollocks.
It's not genuine. Yeah.
It's not genuine. Whereas it is a lot of the times. The guys actually use the tackle, use the kit, and they believe in,
You must have had offers from companies with the audience you've got, how active you are on social. You must have had companies approach you and say, Leon, mate, here's a free setup, free rods, free reels.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some very good contacts who I can ring up and say, look, I need 3 rods. I've broken 2 of mine, or I need a new bed chair or something, and I always say, I'll pay your trade.
Yeah.
No problem. So, 1, I'm not beholden. 2, I'm not expecting it.
Yeah.
99% of the time, we'll send you one. Don't worry. I'm willing to pay for it.
But that's still your choice.
Of course it is.
Which is obviously the good part.
And it is a product that I use and I want.
Yeah, that's
so.
fine.
So when I do the review on it, or I say I'm using it, or I get the message, what bed chair or whatever,
it's genuine.
I give them an honest answer.
But for you must also have companies trying to give you gear to push on.
100% all the time. I have companies bring me up and say, we will pay you X amount to use our gear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can't live on that.
No.
Just you. I'd need 3 or 4 different companies.
Yeah.
Really. Because there is no money in being a consultant. Anyone who thinks there is, unless you're Terrier knocking out books and, top of your game.
There's not many, mate, is there?
There's not many. There's not many at all. So,
no.
And then you're beholden to them.
Yeah.
So if it all goes tits up, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And it does. Nothing lasts forever. And it always goes tits up. Who could see COVID round the corner?
Yeah, no one.
It's just, you have to play a smart game. And with the demise of all the magazines and that and everything else, it's like people realise, well, I don't actually need to buy this magazine anymore because it's just adverts.
Yeah.
So if you're doing the same thing on YouTube and Instagram and buy this is great, you won't catch anything, you use this hook, and you don't actually do what you're doing, can't walk the walk.
Yeah. Yeah. It loses all credibility.
But the people who don't do that, like I set out, it was a purposely thing to do it the way I done it.
Yeah.
Mate, you get so much credibility.
Yeah. It's genuine.
It's 100% genuine.
Yeah.
People aren't stupid. They may have used to been picking up a magazine, but now they are not stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because let's be fair, the magazines that have gone, maybe still a few that are here, you're not getting in unless you're paying for advertising.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, potentially.
Not all the time.
No, yeah. It's okay.
And they will hate me for saying that.
Yeah.
But that's how they make their money.
Yeah, they're a business.
They don't do it for free, do they?
No, they're a business. They do need to make money, yeah.
So, so you're taking that little bit of truth out of the equation if you're a paid angler.
Yeah. I get that.
In some respects.
Yeah, I get that.
There's some people who are paid anglers who have earned to be paid.
Yeah.
And they are telling the truth.
Yeah.
When they're saying, I use this kit, this is what I'm used. There's not many of them about. There's 3 or 4 about. But, it does work. It can work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I can testify to Mr. Blair because I peep through. He's got all his kit out the back there. Don't tell him. But I peep through his kit and think he must have some contraband, but he really don't. So, as you say, there's definitely genuine causes.
There is only one Blair. You know what I mean? He's like 150 mile an hour. He can catch them probably, that cup of tea, he'd catch one. Do you know what I mean? Just through effort.
He'd catch him in this pond out the back,
just through effort.
Yeah.
And just through making it happen.
He's an enigma. What anglers stand out to you, mate? Modern day anglers.
Modern day anglers.
Because you've been through like generations, the tried and tested Terriers,
not many actually stand out because it's fishing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just fishing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
But naturally gifted anglers, probably most of the naturally gifted one you'd never see around a bait deal or consultancy.
Yeah.
Some of the real good gifted anglers who put the work in and everything else, who I respect and look up for. Blairy you've got.
Yeah.
Herney you've got.
Yeah.
People like Briggsy.
Yeah, legend.
Even Crowy.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a long time, mate. He knows how to catch them.
Yeah, he does.
He knows how to catch them, that boy. Do you know?
Yeah, he's a good boy.
There's lots of good anglers out there.
Yeah, there is.
There's lots of very, very good anglers out there which you'll never, ever hear of.
Yeah, totally.
Ever.
Totally. Some of the best anglers.
Some of the best anglers. But what I will say, time is a great leveller. You could be naturally gifted, only do 1 night a month. You could be naturally gifted and do 3 nights, 4 nights a week. Who's going to win?
Yeah, exactly. The old time.
Time is a
10
big leveller.
10 nights a week.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a section that I entitle The People Versus. The People Versus Leon Bartropp.
Oh, here we go.
I honestly, it's a very Nash thing to do, to give feedback on somebody's comments. But we were talking about social media. We were talking about your YouTube channel. I have trolled through Fox videos, CC Moore's videos, your Leon Bartropp Carp videos, which there are loads of. And genuinely, and this is not me just saying this, it has been hard to find negative comments.
You won't find any negative comments on there because
I've removed them.
it's truthful. Yeah. No, I've not removed them. It's because what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
If this is a good product, I'm not going to show you a bad product.
No?
Even if it's been given to me, I wouldn't ask for the product unless I'm going to use it. You know, I'm just an angler. I'm no superstar. I catch a few fish just like anybody else.
Straight down the line, call it how it is. I've seen them all, mate.
Same as that.
I've found 2.
Go on.
Okay? For you to react to, do whatever you wish. I'll read them out. I'll put them up here somewhere in the video if you're watching it on YouTube.
And we'll let swear.
You can swear, of course you can. I found one comment on the CC Moore's Autumn Carp video that you did. This is from Dave Stone, who says, I can't keep up with all his bait company changes.
Right. I would say to that is going on from earlier on. I've been with a few bait companies, but I've worked for those bait companies.
Yeah.
So in other words, I could start work for Nash tomorrow.
Yeah.
What bait am I going to use?
Probably some Nash bait.
So probably some Nash bait. So working for Urban, working for Helping CC Moore, working for Up Dynamite. I've worked for them. I'm not a sponsored angler.
No.
I've worked for them in a social media capacity. So what am I going to do? Use someone else's bait?
Yeah.
So fair comment, but there's always another side to the story.
Yeah, you didn't know the background. There you go, Dave. Have that, son.
I think I know who that is anyway.
Do you?
Someone I used to work with.
Old Stoney's not happy. He obviously left his bait company.
No, look, I don't. I always answer every single comment. I answer everything.
Yeah, you're good.
Negative or whatever, because, you know, I respect everyone's got their own way of seeing things.
Yeah. We chatted about this before, and people taking their time to actually leave a comment.
Exactly. No one does it. A few people do it. You see the people with social media actually answer all their messages, reply to every comment. They grow massively.
Yeah.
Because it's in the word social media.
Yeah.
Is the hint.
Yeah.
It's not just putting a picture up there. It's being social.
Yeah, totally. The interaction. The last one, the only other one I could find, which is on your newest, Welcome to Catch More Carp.
Yep.
From Tony Dalloway.
Yep.
I do enjoy your vlogs, and I did wonder how long it would take until you went over to the dark side. I wish you every success, but not for me.
Yeah. Well, everyone's got a right to their own opinion. It's like Netflix. Some people hate it, some people buy it, some people won't. But for me to cater for demand of putting out all them videos, I have to go out and edit all these videos with not even myself. To buy new cameras, to pay for software, to pay for the website, to pay for everything. It's got to be a cost there. It's not for free, is it?
It's not even financial. There is the financial element, but financial in terms of cost, it's the time. I through doing these podcasts, I've never edited anything before. The time it takes to edit these, to learn from Dan, and to do whatever. This pod could go on for 10 hours. It would take me treble that to edit it and get everything done.
But it's like the way I say it. I mean, it's a fair comment.
Yeah.
Every comment that's their opinion. But what I will say is that I would love to be able to knock out 3 videos a week, go out with other people, but I'm going to be, Mrs. B is going to chuck me out on the street. Well, I'm not going to be able to buy a new kit. I've had to buy a couple of new cameras, loads. Yeah. Everything that's being paid in with this subscription goes straight back into it.
Exactly.
And people are loving it.
Yeah,
but it's not for everyone. I get that. I get that. You know, it's. I wouldn't pay for certain subscriptions. I wouldn't pay £4.99 a month to watch football. I just wouldn't do it. Or golf.
Yeah.
Other people, I'd pay £20.99 to watch someone hit a golf ball.
Yeah,
personal preference.
The dark side, mate.
The dark side. I thought you meant moving to Kent from Essex.
The dark side.
The dark side.
You've done well with that, mate. And one more section that I've got before a few more questions. This will be a good one, I think.
Yeah.
It's called Carp Gossip, mate.
Oh,
what is the most ridiculous rumour you've ever heard about yourself?
Bloody hell. There's been a few over the years. The most ridiculous rumour. I started using Nash bait.
Brutal. Came out.
No, I'm joking. No, Nash bait's good bait. They're all good baits.
Yeah,
you know,
mate, it's so
the most ridiculous rumour. God, I don't know, really.
No ridiculous ones? No, you're a multimillionaire who lives in Marbella who's got 25
you always
houses?
get those ones, but fishing different waters.
Yeah.
I've had messages saying, that was you in Peg 12 yesterday, wasn't it? I was going to come and say hello, but I didn't. I'll see you down next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I live about 500 miles away from that lake.
Yeah.
Or it's you hear things, you see things written like, yeah, I know his brother. Yeah, his brother's a good guy. He goes fishing as well. I've got a brother. He hates fishing.
Yeah.
Or
I haven't got a brother.
Yeah, I used to go out with his sister. Do you? That's funny. She's been in Australia for 30 years.
Yeah, no.
Some crazy ones.
I can imagine.
I occasionally I get quite a lot. I get a message come through on my social media. I get loads of messages about everything.
Yeah.
Occasionally I get one. It's like, was that you? I see it at the BP garage at 3:00 yesterday afternoon.
Oh, mate.
Was that you getting the peanuts?
No.
No, I don't even live in that country, mate.
Help me.
But yeah, a couple of ones freaked the missus out a few times, and it's just I couldn't imagine if you were someone famous. It's just a mind fuck. It really is. Being Tesco's, right? I've had it a few times. Mrs. B pushing the trolley around. That's why I don't go Tesco's anymore. Push the trolley around, and it's like you see that person, didn't you? Across the aisle, just going to his missus, going, "It's him." You must get it all the time.
Oh, I don't, mate.
That's him. And you go round and start following you.
Well, they don't say hello or anything.
They do it in the end.
Oh, mate.
Or the missus says hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband recognises you from the YouTube and all that. We love biscuit of the week. We love the old dog and that and everything. Oh, yeah, it's great. You should try these biscuits and all that. It's go, hello, mate. Mate, it's lovely.
It is nice.
It's really nice, but it's that first couple of minutes when you think, is that someone who recognises me from prison?
Yeah. You've had a lot of different guises.
You have to be so careful even after you've left the service.
Yeah,
it's like, is that someone? Do I recognise that person? And a couple of freaky times I've been in tackle shops and there's been someone in there who's I used to bang up.
Yeah.
And we've recognised each other and it's gone, I think we best just both get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
am I going to get shot, stabbed, or is he going to shake my hand?
Yes, yeah.
That's not, yeah.
But so yeah, it's just like a policeman would be, I suppose.
Yeah,
you know,
I suppose. Wow.
You know, you'd be going down the street, you go to a pub, and you recognise someone.
Colourful. Right, we finished with a quick fire round, but I've got 2 questions that I like to give sort of towards the end. One of them is, what are your plans for the future?
Plans for the future? Just keep on doing what I'm doing. You know, just keep on going fishing, enjoying it. You know, it's better than playing Xbox. It's better than going down the pub, getting rotten, taking loads of drugs.
Yeah.
Fishing saved me life. You know, I've made a business out of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to push out content, non-payment content as well. There's still going to be stuff on YouTube through CC Moore and other people. Just keep giving people value. Keep on answering all the questions. Just message me. I get so many messages. I love it.
Yeah.
Because even if you're not subscribed, just message me. You know, just keep on helping people because it's all about karma. It really is. You get out what you give. It's not I'm ignoring everyone, all that. I really do believe there's a bigger force. The more goodness and good vibes and helping people. I mean, I've had Premiership footballers, rugby players. I've had people who are dying from cancer. I've had people messaging me, saying people who are the Liverpool scout saying to me, "You saved my life just for answering this message a year ago," and things like that. You know, I was in such a bad place.
It's powerful media, mate.
Powerful, mate. It's so powerful, and to actually, it's why I'm successful. What I do, because it's the universe paying me back. Simple. It's simple. Like just karma.
What about fishing terms? What are your targets?
I'm going to continue fishing St Ives a little bit. I think. I'm going to try and actually catch one and not lose one out of Dinton.
Oh, Dinton, we touched on Dinton. Not St Ives, hasn't we? Have to come back, mate. There's more to talk
St
about.
Ives. There's a couple of other lakes I want to fish. I don't know. You can. There's always. I've seen loads of people come and go over the years. I'll go and do barbel fishing or perch fishing, or I just want to just continue fishing different lakes all the time. Get into it, and you know.
Yeah, it's your passion, it's your love, isn't it, mate?
It's me love. It's saved me life and give me a living as well.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
Yeah, exactly.
What more could you want? It's kept me straight. It's kept me from, you know, killing myself like a few of me pals have done over the years through drugs and drink and going to sleep one night and choking on their own vomit when they're so pissed.
Bloody hell. That's not great, mate, is it?
No, when I was young, I had about 3 or 4 of my friends do it all in the space of a year.
That's brutal.
You know?
And angling kept your head together?
Angling has always kept my head together for everything. There's always been angling there, even when I've lost my father, everything. When I've got divorced, when I've owed £5 million, when,
Yeah.
you know, it's just always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been there. It's just the constant in my life. If everything else goes tits up, I'll go fishing.
Do you think you'd still be here without it?
No, definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. I would have been dead a long time ago. Honestly, I know people say that and all that, but it's made me. I think I would have gone crazy, or would have done something I shouldn't have done, or living from where I come from in East London and that, or just not had time out to go and sort my head out. That's why it's like I said about my boy not taking him, because it's sort of my thing.
I say, yeah, it's therapy as well, isn't
Do you know, it's therapy. Fishing is therapy.
Yeah.
It's lovely to catch them. It's a bonus, but a lot of the time,
Yeah.
how can you watch that sunset or watch that kingfisher? Or I know it's stereotype, but
nah, it's mega.
it's for the soul, mate. It's power for the soul. Being out in the open air.
It is mega. Last question before a little quick fire round. What would you consider your greatest achievement in life thus far?
Thus far, my children and my missus, I suppose.
Nice.
Fishing's just fishing.
I like that. That's good,
Definitely.
mate. It's a
You know,
very
fishing
good
is
answer.
just fishing. At the end of all else, it's just fishing.
Yeah?
You're putting a hook in something that swims around, that's it. Everything else is just padding.
I'm with you, mate.
Family, life. You know, I've lost a lot of people in my family. But so, even though I'm not a very family-orientated person, all my family isn't. They're very offish with with each other. They don't get together all the time and have loads of parties and all that. We're always there for each other. And yeah, your family, your kids. I mean, your kids are everything, aren't they?
Yeah, totally.
You know, your kids are what's going to be there after you've gone.
Yeah, mate, totally. I'm with you. Right, quick fire round.
Go on.
Quick being the operative word. We'll see how you do. A UK 50 or a foreign 70?
Neither a £20 scaly.
Oh, lovely. UK? Or does it matter?
Don't matter what it is, does it?
Nice.
How they look.
Bait boat or baiting pole? You're in baiting pole range, by the way.
Baiting pole then. It's got to be, isn't it?
Nice. Would you rather experience carp fishing 20 years ago or go 20 years into the future?
40 years ago, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
I very quick one. I used to be a member of the BCSG, and we had a meeting down at Calder Lake. I fished that for quite a few years. I fished the valley there for quite a few years. And there was a guy there who caught his first carp in something like 1916. Before anyone else.
What?
He had half a leg. You know, he was an old boy in his 70s then. This is when I was a kid. You know, when I was in my 20s.
There's a theme of people with missing limbs around you, mate. I'm worried.
But I went and sat with him for 10 minutes. He was a doctor as well, he was. And I just said to him, like, you know, talked about his life and I said, when did you catch your first carp? You know, 1916 or something ridiculous.
That is mad.
And it's like, blew me away.
Yeah. Yeah.
People forget all these guys who are trailblazers.
Oh.
1930s, 40s, 50s, who Richard Walker and all them guys.
We wouldn't be here, mate.
We would not be here. We wouldn't have. Nash wouldn't be. No one would be here.
No.
I wouldn't be earning a living. These old boys who are no longer with us. That's where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. I'd love to go back.
Good answer. Dawn or dusk?
Dawn, definitely.
Never use a shelter again or never use a bed chair again?
Oh, I never use a bed chair again. I do like my bed chair.
Yeah? You want your bed chair?
I want my
never
bed chair.
use a shelter?
Never use. You can do it out in the
Under the stars.
Yeah.
Carpy.
Carpy. But not as Carpy as getting divorced.
That's the best. I'm telling you, that's the
That's
pinnacle.
the one, isn't it?
You've set the benchmark very high. Leads and no bite alarms or bite alarms and no leads?
Leads and no bite alarms.
A professional angler or a professional footballer?
Professional footballer, because you'd earn so much more money.
Always torrentially raining when you're fishing or always 30 degrees and windy?
Always raining. I hate the heat.
Yeah.
Hate it. Winter time is my minus temperatures in the winter. I love it. It's my favourite. This is my favourite time of year. Yeah, I don't like spring. I don't like autumn. I don't like summer. It's winter.
Get me the cold.
Give me the cold.
Would you rather catch 10 20-pounders in a session or 140?
Depends what they look like.
They're all
10 years ago, I
bangers.
would have said 40-pounders all day long. Now I'm like, scaly bangers all day long, isn't it?
Okay, nice, good answer.
But that's probably only because I've caught loads of 40s.
Yeah, you've done it.
10, 20 years ago, it would have been, oh no, 40-pounder all day long. Sod the 20s.
Just have 10 20s and a 40 in the same session. All scaly. Done.
Yeah, I'm not Terry Earn.
For the rest of your life, you can only listen to drum and bass or country and western.
It's got to be listening to drum and bass, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. Fucking country just down. I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry. What's all that about?
Mate, I'm
Country
sorry
western.
to everyone at Nash, but I'd take country and western, mate. Drum and
They're
bass does
laughing,
not do it for me, mate.
Mate, I love rave music. I love
Yeah,
bang,
you're-
bang, bang.
you're
I come
that
from that.
scene.
I come from that era.
Just no hope.
There is no hope.
In a bucket or dig a hole?
Dig a hole.
Would you rather fish a 2-week session without changing your socks or a 2-week session without changing your underwear?
Oh, without changing my socks. Underwear's got to be the one to change all the time, isn't it?
Yeah. I would give you a fantastic quote about that question, but I won't. Hook, bait, colour choice, bright or match the hatch?
Bright.
Camo or olive?
Both. Combination.
Nice, I like that. Ash.
Although I do like camo better than olive.
Do you?
But a combination. I love a
Got to
bit
break
of
it
camo.
up a bit, though, haven't you?
Yeah, but I do like a bit of camo.
Yeah.
I'm Camo Steve in the corner, aren't I? Do you know what I
Camo
mean?
Steve with his
You know the one you
biscuits.
see at the shows walking around past?
Yeah.
With all the camo up? That's me.
He's good.
I'm there.
He's good, Camo Steve. Last question. Date night with Mrs. B or hit the lake on the end of a big pressure drop?
Nah,
and a
date night,
southwesterly?
Mrs. B, but you can catch them when it's not. Big pressure drops and that don't do nothing anymore. High pressure, 30 degrees, you catch a 50-pounder.
He's kept the missus happy. That's good
Mrs.
from
B's
you.
the one, mate.
That is good from you. Leon Bartropp, you've been an incredible guest, mate. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time. You're an
I've thoroughly
absolute
enjoyed
legend.
it as well.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys so much for downloading it, watching it, however you digested it, and we will definitely get you back on, mate. Cheers, mate.
Thanks.